official roofer of the Memphis Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
Leg out. I got a cruise ship. It's a cruise ship. Come on now. Y'all know the rest.
Oh, yeah. That's that Tom Cruise mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a cruise ship. It's a cruise ship.
Because my cruise slip.
Got my cruise ship on the cruise
Unless
ship.
I got a cruise ship.
Hey, that's it. That's the bar right there, bro. That's it. Hold on. I bought a cruise ship because it's a cruise ship. And now my cruise slip on our cruise trip. Come on now. That's it, bro. That's the bar.
There it is. See? Just take a little second.
Just had to tie it together, man. I've been trying to figure out how to tie it together for a couple of days.
Perfect. Saney Boat right.
Yes, sir.
With you.
Hashtag Hawks still sorry. Y'all told me the Hawks were going to be good this year, man. What happened, man?
Well, on that evidence, they still got some work to do.
Yeah. How surprised I am to see
it's preseason,
two of the three guys they signed. I'm just so surprised to see that half of the guys two of the three guys they signed look like they don't care about playing basketball for the Hawks. And why am I not surprised about it? Who saw that?
Well, we're going to talk about it here momentarily.
Yeah.
Welcome in everybody to an all new edition, live and local, baby. Sports 56 Mornings. My name is Peter Edmiston, alongside Saney Boat right, hashtag Hawks still sorry. And it looks like our good friend Zachary Boyd having a little Christmas spirit. Looks like Zach went to the Santa gave him a beard trimmer.
Yeah. Look at you, Zach.
Look at that. That's I think.
Was that
Santa
COVID related? Was that COVID related, Zach? Did you trim the beard down? Were you trying to?
No. I had to get a haircut. I had to get a cut.
Oh,
yeah,
so
go take the hat off, man. Go take the hat
man,
off.
it's cold.
No.
Man.
It's
cold.
I'm not doing the show. I ain't doing the show until you take the hat off. Man.
I'm saying it is cold. It's cold.
It's cold outside.
Go ahead, come on,
Take
Zach.
that hat off. Oh, he's taking it off.
It's cold.
Yes, it's a Christmas miracle.
The maven of clean shaven is back.
It's cold.
Oh, the maven of clean shaven. I didn't realize.
I
what
did
a
it.
Christmas miracle this morning.
photos.
I got a cut a couple of days before I had to go back to the forum, but I think I think by that time I should be straight. So yeah, it's cold. That's why I got this.
You got to
beanie
keep that
on.
thing clean. You got to keep that thing clean shaven though. With that beard and that bald
boy.
head, man.
Smooth,
Now you're ready. Now you're ready.
Hey,
Well,
He's ready for the regular season. This regular season.
Of course I am.
Here.
I'm ready for it, man.
no Grizz girls in the forum this year though, probably.
Yeah, they are.
Uh-oh.
He back. He been doing his research. He been doing his research. It's a jackfruit food. What's up, Zach? When we gonna tell that Grizz girl story? What's up?
I don't know, man.
Baby today.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Interesting. All right, ladies and gentlemen. A momentous day indeed as the newly clean shaven.
The maven of clean shaven.
Woo! Well, man, the Viceroy of Bok Choy. He's ready to go, baby. He is ready to go. Zach Boyd, let's get it. All right, that's just fired me up even more for today's show. It's cold out there. It's 26 degrees. It's freezing. Did not want to get out of bed this morning. That was a tough one. This morning was one of those when you're snuggled up, man. You don't. Oh boy, getting out of those covers feels like you're going into the Arctic. You're taking the Arctic plunge, but you got to do it. You got to do it. Some of you may be listening to us and still having trouble getting out of bed, and I'll be honest with you, it's hard for me to tell you that that you should get out of bed. Honestly, just stay as long as you can. It's nice, and because it's cold out here. It will warm up into the 40s, but it's going to be cold today. So just know that. We got lots to get to. Coming up later on, we're going to talk to our good friend Adam Kramer. We'll talk a little college football with Kramer, including the mess that is this selection committee and Mike Oresco's comments. We'll talk about the games that we have on the docket for this weekend and a whole lot more. We'll talk to our buddy Kari Thompson coming up at 9 o'clock as well about the prep season and about his sorry Celtics and a few other things like that. Man, we got a lot of exciting and wacky news to get to as well. Boy, there's a lot. So let me tell you how to get in touch with us. You can hit us up on the First Bank text line at 67129. 67129. We'd love to hear from you. 67129 on the First Bank text line. If you want to dial up, you can do that too on the First Bank phone line. 360-8255. 901-360-8255. And, of course, you can chat if you are watching us on the video streams. We have video streams available all over the place. Chat away in each of those, and it comes right to us on the First Bank chat line at right there on the old chat. So just if you're on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or whatever it may be, go crazy. Tap
you can text
away,
any
type
time
away.
of day. You can text us like after the show, or you can text us before the show, or in the middle of the night, or
You can. You can do all those things. So that's how you get in touch with us in those ways. Now today, as we mentioned, obviously we have those guests, everything else, and in honor of Saints hashtag last night, live basketball returned to FedEx Forum, first time in a 9-month period. Like I said, babies were conceived and born in between the time that you've seen live basketball in FedEx Forum.
Yep.
And so maybe those newborn babies were there. I don't know. Not too many other people were there.
No, friends and family
so.
were there. Your friends and family.
It was a friends and family only. Maybe not even friends. Maybe just family. It was not very many people at all.
Yep.
Were in the house for this one. But the Grizzlies, after a little bit of a slow start, they turned it on in the second half and blew away the Atlanta Hawks. It was not even close in the end.
I was
very
told,
impressive.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no! I was just going to say another very impressive performance from Ja Morant. We'll talk about that. Just a very impressive performance from the Grizzlies offensively overall, and the second half was great.
I was told by some Hawks fans who jumped into my mentions that we were trying, but the Hawks weren't trying.
That's funny.
Yeah. That's what I was told. We were trying, but the Hawks weren't.
That's interesting. You gotta say that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Hawks still finna be sorry, man. Like, I don't know what people need to see. I saw enough last night to know. You know why? You know why I don't trust the Hawks seriously though? Shout out to the additions they made. Trae Young hurts their team. You heard it here first. His style of play is not winning basketball. Like no matter what happens, he's gonna start like jacking up threes from like Trae. That I understand that shot's even harder to defend than stepping up a couple feet. But it's just he's gonna start doing Trae Young stuff at the end of the day.
So you think you think he hurts them?
I don't think the way he plays is winning. I don't think the way he plays is winning basketball. Is he a phenomenal basketball player? Yes. He looks great doing a lot of things that he does, taking shots from all over the court. He can get off any shot he wants, but he's an excellent scorer. But I'm not sure that his style of play I'm not sure that his style of play attributes to winning basketball. And until I see it, I'll forever think that, because the Hawks still look like the same team. Because when they started off doing some good stuff, after a while, turns into Trae ball. Ice Trae in the house. That's
so icy.
That's a pretty cool nickname, though. I ain't gonna lie. Especially when he gets to rubbing his shoulders like he's cold. Like, yeah, I can get with all that. But you down 30 and pulling from half court. So,
yeah, I don't know. It's got a little feel of the Lester Quinones air guitar thing. I'm like, shooting like 20% from three. I'm not sure we need to bust out the air guitar. Got
to strum it, man.
Like that's another difference. Right. That's the other side of being cold. You ice cold from the field. So
yeah, he's very ice cold. He's
totally different.
A little too cold.
Yeah, totally different side of the spectrum.
No, I think I can see what you're saying. I don't, like I said, I've always kind of, I think the issue with Trae Young is, building around him. He's a great passer. He's got great court vision. The way he plays can be. I think he can be part of a very good offensive team. I think the problem is still going to be on the defensive end. I was told he was getting better defensively. I didn't see any evidence of that last night, but it's preseason, so I'm not going to go too crazy. But that's the limitation as far as I'm concerned. And then obviously the guys they've got, Gallinari, Bogdanovic, they'll shoot better than they did last night. But they were pretty bad. Bogdanovic just was totally. I looked like he was forcing it a little bit, and then Gallinari looked like he didn't care. So
right.
I realized
who saw that one coming.
I mean, again, it's preseason, so I'm not gonna get real caught up in too much of that stuff. But he looked utterly disinterested in that. At least in that game last night, he looked completely. He just like, nah, I don't really want to be here.
Right.
I'm
Speaking of not wanting
being
to
in
smoke
Memphis at this point, that stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of not wanting to smoke, bro, I'm about to say something that has me giddy right now. We talked about Kyle Anderson being a surprise. We talked about Ja looking phenomenal. We talked about Dylan Brooks playing more within the system. We've seen spot up DB on the court. We've seen him. We've seen spot up DB, and spot up DB is a pretty good player. But something else that we've seen, Peter Evanston, I don't think people really pay attention to. This ain't the same JV, man. Like, he's fit.
Yeah.
And, man, he was giving Capella and whoever else wanted all they could have, like, all they wanted to have, all you can eat last night. Like, for real. JV's
he blocked Capella's shot without even jumping.
He's in tremendous shape. Seriously, man, kudos to JV, man, because he really put in some work over the offseason. Some videos came out of him where he looked super slim. JV looks good, man, and I'm JV. Those bows still got their weight though, man. He's still throwing them LBs around, but he looks great, and he's playing top basketball right now. Like I'm really excited about what JV may be able to bring to the team this year because he looks like a totally different player to me on the court.
Yeah, I just think he looks like a better version of what we saw last year.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like I agree with you. He looks like he's in better shape. He looks like he's really locked in. He looks like he's it's a huge benefit because he's a great screen partner for Ja Morant on the perimeter, and then his ability to sometimes when your offense is just kind of struggling, you can just throw it down here and get a low post basket from him. That's outstanding. The defensive work, I agree, he looks physically imposing in there. And he big boyed a lot of dudes last night. I mean, he grabbed 2 or 3 rebounds with one hand. He's just like,
you talk about being for real. If JV's being for real, give me more to being for real. Like I'm down for that because I'm really like for real, man. Kudos. Like JV he's a guy who came in just being a back to the basket center all of his career. Coach Jenkins challenged him to shoot more threes. He shot more threes last year. It looks like he's getting his body together so he can be quicker, so he can move laterally a little better, get out and play defense a little better. And, man, kudos. Like, he's constantly adjusting his game. It's paying off for him.
Well, he looks great. Again, everything just – it looked it's scary how good the Grizzlies look right now because, it almost – I'm slightly worried because you don't want to be, peaking too soon. But, like, either these teams are just really bad, they're playing, or – like they're maybe a little ahead of what we thought because, 33 assists on 46 made baskets tells you that they are moving the ball exceptionally well. I don't even know. I've sort of run out of superlatives for Ja Morant at this point. 31 assists, 4 turnovers in his 3 preseason games. 31 assists and 4 turnovers, and 3 of them were last night, and 2 of those 3 were just basically just kind of messing around. Like they weren't even really. I wouldn't even consider them in the flow of play. Just stuff that would never happen in an ordinary game. 31 assists, 4 turnovers, shooting 61% from the field.
Yeah. And that's how his turnover ratio is almost
and it looks
8-1. It's almost 8-1.
It's Tyus Jones. It's Tyus Jones level,
right?
Because Tyus Jones' NBA record was 7.3 to 1 was his turnover to assist turnover ratio, and he set the record for an NBA season. Ja Morant is capable of matching or beating that. Now when they get in the season and when things, I still think he's going to, probably commit a few more turnovers. The thing with lack of turnovers is it's a little bit like errors in baseball, where somebody might not have that many errors, but it's because they don't necessarily go for all the balls.
Right.
Like they might not have the range to even try to get
make
a ball,
play on the ball, right.
to even make an error. Sometimes turnovers to me are not that big of a deal. But when you combine the fact that he's still playing the same style with the fact that he's also not turning it over, that's the thing that's crazy. He looks just in complete command.
Oh yeah,
dude, his footwork. I don't know what has been going on, and I'm going to ask.
He
him.
was working on everything in the offseason, Peter. He told
I know, but he's probably going to. But I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask about this specifically, and I'm going to see what happens. He's going to be like, "I worked on everything. I told you.
I told you
everything.
I wanted to play with 12.
Your my feet were everything. I told you.
My feet are part of everything, right?
My feet are everything.
Don't you see my hair? Don't you see it? It's everything."
So anyway, his footwork, man, is. I talked about it after the first preseason game, and I'm still watched it last night. He had one layup in the first quarter where he, if you got to watch it in slow motion to appreciate, he does some kind of, it's like a soft shoe, it's like a tap dance around two dudes without picking up the dribble and somehow navigating. I don't know, man. I watched it 2 or 3 times, just trying to figure out how did he do that? Where did the feet? How did he get his feet right? He's done on his shot. I'm telling you, he has been in the lab when it comes to his footwork. Yeah, and that's scary because he's still got all the athletic ability that you know and love, but it's more efficient now. His feet are in the right place. He knows where he's going to go with it. So. He's not using it as kind of a defensive thing where sometimes he'd jump up in the air and then sort of figure it out as he goes. Now he's got a plan of what he wants to do. He I don't know, man. This all-star season is right here.
Ja plays like a guy who doesn't have elite level athleticism. You know what I mean? He's super crafty. He's a student of the game. He understands pace, understands how to stop and go, all these type of things that are in Ja's repertoire. But you add elite level athleticism to that as well. You know what I mean? It's you look at.
That's what I mean. It's just scary. It's what in the world?
And you hear a lot of comps for Ja a lot of times. A lot of them nah, I can't get. I mean, I remember coming out of college, people saying, well, he's got a lot of John Wall in him. That's one of the things you heard. And then you heard Russell Westbrook, and you heard all these different names. And my good friend Cam Rose, who I reference often, he's got the 2 best comps for Ja I've ever heard. And those are more athletic Chris Paul and a shorter Penny Hardaway. Those are the best comps I've heard. When you think about it, it sounds crazy when you first say both of them. Then when you sit down and think about it, a shorter Penny Hardaway is exactly who Ja Morant is. Because Penny had that court vision. He understood the pace. He had good footwork. But he was athletic as well. He's not as quite as athletic as Ja is. But you remember, Penny could get off the ground quickly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
But he's, Penny was 6'7". So, yeah, those I think are great comps for who what you're seeing in Ja on the court in year 2. And, year 2, Penny was all NBA. So let's hope that.
Yeah, I think that's a good. I mean, I think those two things are. I think it's some combination of both because I think he definitely takes elements of each guy. He's not the shooter that Chris Paul is and was. He's not. He's not as big, obviously, as Penny Hardaway.
Penny.
But he's got more athleticism than Penny. Certainly more athleticism than Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, like I said, we're gonna run out of
his basketball IQ is ridiculous. That's why I don't like the Derrick Rose,
Westbrook.
I don't like those comps at all because Ja's basketball IQ is astronomical. It's extremely high tier.
Well, he just knows how to. I asked Taylor Jenkins about it after the game last night. And he kind of said, like, he just knows how to control the game. That's the part that, to me, that's the number one thing that like, I just am always amazed by. I was amazed by it last year, and I continue to be amazed by it this year, even more so. He just controls the game. Like, he's out there controlling the flow completely in the way that, like, a longtime veteran controls the flow. Like, he sometimes wants the offense to run through him. Sometimes he wants to let somebody else get their business in because he wants to keep everybody involved. But it's always he's the one who's running he's the metronome. You know what I mean? Like, he's setting the tempo. Like, sometimes he'll go tick, 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 tick fast, and sometimes he'll tick, 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 a little slower. He's the one who sets the tempo. He's the one who decides how fast things are going to go. And he's got an unbelievable feel for the game. And that's the part that you can't really teach. Some of the other stuff you can teach. Some of the other stuff you can work on and improve and all that stuff. But I'm of the opinion that some guys just have a built-in, God-given ability to read situations, to read the game, to understand on a higher level, like, chess players and stuff, man. Somebody's playing chess, and sometimes, you're playing against somebody who sees
they see many moves ahead.
4 or 5 moves ahead, and you're trying to, like, kind of catch up to where they've already figured out where the game's going to go. And so you end up falling into their trap, like, oh man, it's right. He's in that. He's got the capability of being that kind of a guy.
If you want to see how ahead of the game John Morant is, go find that. I'm not sure which game it was, but they mic'd him up, and John was saying some of the most incredible things you ever heard come out of a rookie's mouth.
That was the Charlotte game.
Yeah. When he was mic'd up, I was like, what? And like, how is this dude?
Yeah, that was last December.
Yeah, about a year
so
ago.
he was just played like 15 or 20 games in the NBA. Well, I talked to Taylor Jenkins for a long time back, right as the pandemic was hitting, and talked to him about Ja's leadership like that. And he said a lot of times in the timeouts, I just let Ja talk, and he says I'll come in and be like, okay, yeah, that sounds good, like, or he may come in and say, well, let me adjust that slightly. But he said for the most part, like, I'm just, when Ja feels like he wants to talk, like he says like good things that are coaching, like that's what coaches would say. Like, that's exactly the coachable thing, and he just lets him go. And this kid's, he's 21. He's 3 years younger than DeAndre Williams.
I was just about to say that. He's 21. He's 20 years younger than Dorsey James. So, yeah.
He's a decade younger than Precious Achiuwa, who's a rookie. I mean, come on, it's crazy. So no, he's fantastic. I'm telling you. 67129, 67129. Text in your thoughts. Got a couple more things to add about the game last night. We're going to talk a little bit about that crazy NFL game last night as well. We'll get to college football too coming up. So a very, very busy show on this Friday edition. Bundle up. It's cold out there, but we'll keep you warm. 1 week away from Christmas Day. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Are you looking for a dependable car at a fair price and guaranteed financing approval? Then you need to make your way to Collierville Auto Center, where one price shopping is the name of the game. Family owned and operated, Collierville Auto Center has been in the business for over 20 years and is proud to serve the people of this area. Collierville Auto Center is stocked with over 50 units, including cars, trucks, SUVs, and Highlines. Looking for a particular type of vehicle? Collierville Auto Center offers a locator service with 72-hour turnaround service. With over 30 years in the automotive industry, Scott Martin would be happy to show you how their affordable pricing and guaranteed financing can work for you. Come see Scott and his professional staff of Terry, Branson, Q for your car needs. Conveniently located at 651 West Poplar Avenue, Collierville Auto Center is situated where Highway 72 meets Poplar and Collierville. Please look them up on the web at ColliervilleAutoCenter.com. Call at 901-853-0240 or simply come and see them for an outstanding car buying experience. At Collierville Auto Center, they're here for you.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Titleist, featuring the new Titleist TSI drivers with aerospace titanium face construction that's never been used before in golf. TSI is faster in air and faster at impact. And a special holiday promotion on Pro V1, Pro V1X, and AVX balls, now only $39.99 a dozen. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Sports 56 traffic.
So far, there are no accidents. So let's keep it that way. This is a good start to the day, y'all. This is a Friday morning. No accidents on the roadways. Let's keep it up, man. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Yeah. People honoring Zach's newly shaved head by not running into each other on the roads. Excellent. Appreciate that, everybody.
Your head might have been lighting the way for him.
That's right.
That's terrible.
Don't hide your light under a bushel, is what they say.
What did it say, Zach? What is that Bible verse? What was that? Job chapter.
You remember Job chapter 3 when he said when Job fed everyone with loaves and fishes? Is that right?
Yeah. It was Job, right?
Yeah, it was Job.
When Job parted the Red Sea?
No.
Oh, man. Oh, and the angel Job came down upon them.
Then that lady shaved Job's head. You know, remember that? He lost all his power.
Oh, man, that's right. Yeah, I remember that. Job and Delilah, I think, was that?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Something like
the wisdom of Job is what I always say. That's one of those old phrases that I like so much. That's right. That's right. God called Abraham up and said, you may have to sacrifice your son Job. And, so there you go.
Yeah, man.
That's Zach's Bible.
The
Bible history
the
is a
Bible
lot like
according to Job.
Well, Zach's Bible history is a lot like some folks' Black history, which every answer is Martin Luther King and every answer is Job. It's very similar.
Rosa Parks, Malcolm X,
Job. Who's the one? Yeah, that's right. It's all Job. Any Bible answer, Job. Job. All right, so we were talking about the game last night. Grizzlies preseason winners, 3-0 now in the preseason, and again, cooking. Offensively, looked terrific. Defensively, not too bad either. And Brandon Clark made his debut and looked very Brandon Clark-ish. So it's good to see that his trippiness did not affect him on the court, at least last night. Desmond Bane continues to look very solid, like an NBA player. He looks like a guy that's played for 3 or 4 years. Like, he looks utterly unfazed.
He's no THT, but there's only
well,
one
obviously not. I mean, I don't know if you've seen THT.
What does the Grizzlies' future look like? You're trying to build for the future. You got THT with the Lakers, man. Like, what?
I know. I mean, why does he even try?
How dare the Grizzlies even prepare for the future, man? What's the point of developing when THT is with the Lakers, man? Come on, man.
I know.
What are they doing?
Wasting time is what they're doing.
Do we trade Ja for THT straight up right now?
I mean, the Lakers wouldn't. Lakers wouldn't.
There's
do that,
no way the
obviously.
Lakers.
There's no way they do that. Yeah, THT's too good,
too valuable, man.
I mean, he's THT, man. Come on, what are you talking about? Golly.
He's the reigning rookie of the year. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's THT. The interesting thing too, I think everyone else, other than Grayson Allen, who had a little bit of a rough shooting night, played phenomenal. Like, if you look at the starting lineup, Kyle Anderson, 3 of 6, Jonas Valanciunas, 7 of 9, John Morant, 7 of 12, Dylan Brooks, 10 of 15. A really nice shooting night from Dylan Brooks. And also, just, I don't know, man, don't look now, but Dylan Brooks is like, he's averaging like 3.5 assists a game.
Good Dylan.
I don't know. This is interesting. Like, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but last year he averaged 2 assists per game, and that was probably 2 fluky accidental passes.
Right. Somebody threw the ball to him and it slipped off his fingers and bounced into someone else's hand, and they scored.
They had to give the assist to somebody. So
right.
Like, all right.
He
actually looks like he's passing the ball, like, with some intent. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he still has his Dylan moments, obviously, but he's
his villain
I don't know, man.
His villain.
Yeah,
moments.
very villainous, but I mean, he last night just super smooth. I don't know, man. It's deceptive this preseason more than most, but this Grizzlies team looks way ahead of schedule.
Right, they
look way ahead of schedule.
They look deceptively good, and if you look at the 2 games, you look at the game against Minnesota, and you say, okay, well, that's Minnesota's bad. Well, you figure, okay, well, we're not that bad. If we're a non-playoff team, we're not Minnesota. We're not going to be Minnesota,
by the way,
bad.
beating Dallas in overtime.
Exactly.
Last night.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of you just kind of put yourself, see where you are. And a team like Atlanta, who came in with a lot of preseason hype, they're got a more solid roster, and to come out and look good against those guys, that's real. Whether it's preseason or not, or whether those are good teams or whatever you want to say, you still see where you are in comparison to two teams, regardless of how good they may or may not be.
I got some Dylan audio for you guys.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is when he was talking about his offensive game here.
I'm just my vision, just watching more film, watching the greats.
Film.
R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, really watched him a lot. And, I just worked on my handle, so I can, create for my teammates, create my own shot. It's just coming together.
Well, I was watching film. Did you really have to, like, we could have just told you what everything he was going to say.
Just watching film and R.I.P. Kobe.
Bro, like that was like literally a montage of everything we've talked about over the last 2 months regarding Dylan. Like he literally just said everything we've ever said. And just he didn't give any John Jaren.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Bean told me in a vision.
Bean.
He came to me last night,
of course, and he said, "DB, you're the new Kobe."
I said, "Bean, are you omnipresent right now?" He said, "No, I'm just here with you."
I said, "Bean, are you appearing to any other visions of any other players?"
Players? He said, "No,
just you.
Just the Maple Mamba."
You put the parent in heir apparent.
The parent and heir apparent. He told me to be a father to the fatherless.
He's sort of a father figure to me in some ways. And,
I can't relate because
I don't know what that is. But,
oh man, out of bounds.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh God. Okay. Breathe easy, Zach. Those calls.
Make it light of that situation. We can't.
Oh man, out of bounds.
No, Dylan's playing fantastic. Whatever it is, whether it was a vision of Kobe or a hologram of Kobe, whatever it was, it seems to have. If you can get this level of Dylan Brooks, the fouls were back a little bit. It was a little foul issue, but. He's edgy, but he was on the right side of it. So yeah, I don't know, man. If he plays like this, there's a lot to like there. And then Desmond Bane, man.
Yep. If all he can do is shoot,
woo,
he's doing it.
Woo.
And he just makes heady plays, man. He's
just a smart player.
He's not a shooter who just can't guard anybody. You got to hide him on defense. No, he can do his thing, man. Those little arms, they give you all they can, man.
And T-Rex arms are out there doing it.
And it's so strange, bro, because his arms are visibly little bitty on TV. You can see the smallness of his arms on TV. So
yes,
the shortness of his arms. They're quite big. He's buff, but yeah, you can it's not like you say. Sometimes you're a guy has a short wingspan, but he doesn't look any different than anybody on the court. Like Bane doesn't look like everyone else. He looks like he's every.
Usually it's guys with super long arms. And you're like, man, look how long this dude's arms are. But it's the opposite.
Bane is like,
man,
his arms
this dude's
super
arms
short.
are very short. But he makes it. He makes it work, man. He makes it work. So I got to give him credit for that. He's outstanding. Now, a couple other notes from around the league. Very interesting that. The talks that the Sixers may trade Ben Simmons in a James Harden deal have gotten a lot louder over the last 24 hours or so. Shams Charania of The Athletic saying, well, the Sixers have made Ben Simmons available in some packages for James Harden. Woj reporting that several teams are much more aggressive now in their pursuit of James Harden. They feel like it's going to happen. They get the impression that the Rockets are ready to do something sooner rather than later. For what it's worth, Daryl Morey said, now obviously the Philadelphia GM said that we're not trading Ben Simmons. He is an important part of our future. Chris Paul chimed in and said, well, Daryl Morey told me a couple days before trade that I wouldn't be dealt to the Thunder. And Yusuf Nurkic said, hasn't he said that before? So a lot of players are saying, man, we don't really trust Daryl Morey's comments on this at all. Do you think that this is there some smoke here?
Yeah, there's some smoke to it. I think it is. And I wouldn't be surprised if it involves, other teams, like if it's made into a bigger deal just to make some numbers work and just, whenever there are two players of that caliber getting moved, you often have to kind of get other teams involved just to kind of make things work sometimes. But yeah, I think that's ultimately what's going to end up happening. You're going to see James Harden go to Philadelphia. Now, whether it's for Ben Simmons or for Embiid, that might be in question. But I do think that Philadelphia is where he's probably going to end up when it's all said and done. Because when Woj and them get to talking, man, there's something out there. Like, they're not just pulling out. This isn't, Billy Billy Blog guy who's just making up stuff and for an article, just throwing out an idea. When Woj and those kind of guys get to talking, there's some kind of conversation being had. So. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's certainly agents and player reps and team reps, and I mean, they're people that I always tell people again. And you've heard, I know you've heard me talk about this before, Zach and Sane both, but I'll remind everybody again with stuff like this. Whenever you hear news come out, just remember who benefits from it coming out. You know, why would they? Nobody is forced to reveal anything. You know,
right?
So when stuff of rumors or negotiations or a player name gets dropped in trade, think about why that might be.
Right?
Who would do that?
Like
who
the so and so got cut,
that?
and multiple teams are interested in him. Like.
Exactly, right,
when?
right. Multiple teams are interested in
when. Yeah,
you know, like there's a robust trade market for, like, you know, sometimes that's the agent saying, "Hey, man, can you do me a favor?" Or when you see you know, a little extra floral comment from like a Woj or somebody like you know, the outstanding defender will not be on the free agent market long because of blah blah blah. Like then that's usually like. Somebody, the agent saying like, "Hey man, can you do me a favor? Can you just kind of, you know, can you pump this up a little bit?"
Or no, here's the good one. Here's the good one, Peter. Iguodala, who very well may be playing his final season.
That's right.
Not being allowed to freely play for who he wants to play for. What may be the end of an illustrious career for Iguodala while being in prison in Memphis.
2-year extension.
And here's another one too.
Exactly.
There's one particular Grizzly that this applies to, but sometimes the agent will put a number out on a contract that represents all of the unlikely bonuses in addition to the likely bonuses, and the team will allow them to do that to make it look better for the agent, but the real number is so like I'll tell you, so Tyus Jones' number is listed as 3 and 28. Like most time when it was reported that he was signed, it was 3 years, $28 million.
That includes like
in actuality, that's actually going to be it's going to end up being like 3 years, $24 million when it's all said and done. So there's $4 million that's probably not going to, in all likelihood, not going to get activated. 24.5. I think it could go up to like 26.5 if it's absolutely like that's probably a high end realistic expectation. 28 is not going to happen. But, you know, you allow that information to get out there because, you know, it makes agents feel better, it makes players feel better, it makes everyone feel better, look better about the whole thing. So, you know, stuff like that. I mean, it's just, you know, you got to remember who's benefiting from some of these numbers, like, and just, and some of these rumors and, you know.
So in relationship to this trade, what do you think that means?
Well, I mean, like there's a couple theories here. I mean, number one is that James Harden's people are trying to just drum up a market, and so it's in their best interest to make it look as though things are more advanced with Philly, so that, you know, other suitors will come out of the woodwork. Also, Daryl Morey can be floating the name out there of Ben Simmons to try to get Philly fans ready for what might happen and to gauge what the reaction might be and to kind of get a sense of what the league thinks about that sort of thing. A lot of times you'll see teams do things kind of like that to get a feel for what other markets may be out there for another player or you know something along those lines. It's usually not to gauge like public reaction, but it might be to get fans ready for it so that it's not a shock when and if it happens.
Like Rudy Gay trade rumors that lasted a year.
Right.
Ultimately did.
You know, and that was just that. I mean, I think that was just, you know, just inability to actually get the deal done. But anyway, there's all kinds of reasons why a team might do that. So just got to keep that in mind as you watch and you see some of these things.
And then going back to the Rudy Gay trade again, not only was it, I think it did have some strategy to it because they had media members who created a narrative for the trade the entire year. You know what I mean? Like to kind of prepare fans for life without Rudy Gay, and they had literally had a year of softening from you know, certain media members. So yeah,
that's it is interesting to point out, but I do think I agree with you. I think there's definitely something here, and you know, there's not that many players who would be tradable. like in the sense of it would make sense for their teams to trade them, that would also be worthy of being traded for a player as talented and as good as James Harden. And Ben Simmons is probably atop that very short list. So when you couple that with the Daryl Morey factor and everything else, I think it makes a lot of sense that would be part of the mix. And that one wouldn't shock me at all. But we'll kind of have to see what happens. I think something's going to happen sooner rather than later. There's no point in dragging this thing out any further from Houston's perspective and anywhere else. Just move on. Give Steven Silas a chance. I mean, he's already been screwed over in this deal. Ridiculous. A fascinating story. The NBA now investigating the Clippers. We'll talk about was there some chicanery in Kawhi Leonard deciding shenanigans, tomfoolery. We'll see when we return. Stick around. Sports 56 Mornings.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Rocking around, the Kia rides have a happy holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $3149 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike. Or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP $20,625. Sold M7755,682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003,199, MSRP $25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
What can give you a competitive edge in today's red-hot housing market? Rocket can. That's because Rocket Mortgage can give you a verified approval. It could help your offer stand out, because when you find the perfect home, you don't want to lose it to anybody else. Rocket Technology provides a rock-solid verification of your income, assets, and credit, giving sellers and their agents greater confidence in you. We've already helped over 1 million clients just like you reach their home financing goals this year alone. So remember this, what can help you buy the home you really want? Rocket can. Go to rocketmortgage.com or call us today at 8338-ROCKET. That's rocketmortgage.com or call 8338-ROCKET.
A verified approval is based on an underwriter's analysis of your individual financial information, appraisal, and title report. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Are you shopping for a new watch, an engagement ring, any kind of jewelry at all? What's up, Memphis? This is Jaren Jackson Jr. from the Grizzlies, encouraging you all to shop where I shop, Platinum Jewelers here in Memphis. Platinum Jewelers has a big selection of earrings, stockable rings, luxury watches, necklaces, bracelets, really whenever you need. They do custom jewelry and have 2 locations in the area. One is 545 Perkins Extended in East Memphis. The other is 9387 Poplar next to Fresh Market in Germantown. So if you need anything jewelry related, go to my spot, Platinum Jewelers.
Hey friends, all aboard to A&J Catfish Station's newest location in Millington at 7838 Church Street. A&J Catfish Station has delicious light battered farm-raised catfish and mouth-watering big fried shrimp. Try the popular blackened catfish or fresh fried filet and whole channel catfish. Then there's mouth-watering mac and cheese, homemade tartar sauce, great burgers and fries, and fresh vegetables. Got a sweet tooth? Enjoy A&J's Peach Cobbler, voted #1 in Memphis. A&J Catfish Station, now the new location in Millington at 7838 Church Street.
Grind City Brewing Company is taking care of beerness in Memphis. Grind City Brewing is the dream of a father and son duo to create a brand that delivers a high quality, great tasting, and easy drinking craft beer. And they've done it. The brewery sits high above the city elevation in uptown Memphis with 15,000 square feet of beerness, including a 5,000 square foot tap room. Grind City Brewing is committed to all things Memphis, including the Tigers. They have created a malt liquor called Tiger Tail that is the official craft beer of the University of Memphis. Tiger Tail comes in 16-ounce six-packs and is not your typical malt liquor. Tiger Tail is crafted with a bold and smooth flavor, has 7.5% alcohol, and its clean finish makes it incredibly easy drinking. Tiger Tail and Grind City Brewing, taking care of beerness in Memphis.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
They call me Backdoor Santa. I make my runs about the break of day. They call me Backdoor Santa.
Backdoor Santa.
Love Backdoor Santa.
Ain't nothing wrong with that one, G.
That's right. That's right. Got to make all those little girls happy.
I'd rather Santa come through my back door. I think I'd rather Santa come through the back door than through the chimneys. Matter of fact, just ring the doorbell, man. Just ring the doorbell, Santa. I don't need all this.
It's night. You can't be doing that. You can't be ringing the doorbell. That's not how it works. Come on, man. Santa's got to come through the chimney. That's just part of the gig. It's part of the deal. Down the chimney. Do you have a chimney? What people don't know, he creates a chimney in houses that don't even have a chimney. He creates a temporary chimney and comes down that.
Right. We didn't have
a lot of people that live in apartments or places where they don't have a chimney. Zach knows. With the patience of Job, Santa creates a chimney, and
Zach, what are your thoughts on Satan Claus, Zach?
Who?
Oh,
Satan.
Who's that?
No, you mix those letters around, and it comes out to be.
I really
so don't tell me you've never been to church and you've heard the people talking about Satan Claus.
No, I never. That's my first time hearing about it. It makes sense now that I'm thinking about it. Like you rearrange later. Like
if you rearrange the letters, it does. I'm not sure that it
coming down in a red suit. Come on, Zach. You know y'all didn't participate in that stuff at church.
No, like it. Like
did y'all have Holy Ween and Holy Weens?
No. Well, we
Fall
had
festivals. Is that what y'all call?
Actually, let me correct myself.
Holy wings?
we
Jack Fruity wings.
Delicious. I love some holy wings.
We had Hallelujah night at one point. That's what we had. That's what I remember. I wasn't involved in the planning, so I didn't know anything about it. I was young.
Halloween, Hallelujah night.
Hallelujah night. Yeah.
Hey, bro. When I used to work for the youth organization I worked for, I was kind of in charge of our alternative Halloween celebration.
Harvest Festival, we like to call it.
Yeah. No one was better than me at putting those together, man. Like nobody. My joint was jumping.
It's beautiful, man. That's what it's all about. Congratulations.
The master of the alternate Christian Halloween events. Hallelujah night is trash. So there's no way I go to like this.
No.
Fall festival, yeah.
Now, a little controversy. TMZ getting into the mix, reporting that there's some shenanigans, and the NBA is now investigating that a guy named Johnny Wilkes, who claimed to be close to Kawhi Leonard, was teammates with him, or teammates with his uncle, the legendary Uncle Dennis, Kawhi's uncle, who is famously heavily involved in Kawhi's the decision-making and all that stuff. Johnny Wilkes says he was a teammate, he was friends with Uncle Dennis, and that Jerry West, none other than the logo himself, told this guy that if he could provide information to help the Clippers land Kawhi Leonard, that the team would pay him $2.5 million for those services. So Wilkes said, well, he gave him key information that only he could know that lured Kawhi to the Clippers and expected to be paid, and has not been paid yet. And so finally, he's filed a suit allegedly. Says that Jerry West agreed to those terms. Now Jerry West told TMZ, I have not engaged in any improper conduct in connection with the signing of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi also says that Wilkes played no role in his decision to sign with the Clippers over the Lakers. Is there anything to this, or is this just a dude who's?
I 1,000,000% believe that story is real. Because I can see Jerry West like, I'm not paying this son of a nothing. Like, I can just see the whole thing going down. Like, I guess what's the guy's name?
Johnny Wilkes.
All right, Mr. Wilkes, I need you, man. I need you like never before. I can just see him say, I'll give you $2.5 million. He said, what do you want? What do you want, Mr. Wilkes? I need $2.5 million. Jerry West. Oh, man, I got you. I can just see as soon as that guy leaves, I'm not giving this son of a nothing.
So, but here's this is okay. So like that maybe I don't know. I'm sure they met with him. But here's what he allegedly informed Jerry West. Quote: They needed to pitch to Kawhi Leonard that he, quote, will have a great life as a Clipper and after basketball. Okay, well that's fabulous information.
Let me write that down. Great life.
We'll have a great life
after
as
basketball.
A Clipper.
All right.
He also said that he claims to have said the Clippers needed to emphasize that they have a roster with upside that will remain competitive, and that they, quote, will do whatever it takes to compete with the LA Lakers and LeBron James. Again, great information. This is
$2.5
gold.
million worth of
$2.5 million right here, baby. He also said that he told Uncle Dennis that if Kawhi signed with the Clippers, Dennis would receive a house in Southern California along with the travel expense. And that Steve Ballmer would fund a $100 million marketing campaign for Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I believe it. Man, I believe every drop of it.
Biggest scammer in the world. I mean.
No, let me say this. I'm half joking about the $2.5 million promise thing, but do I believe Jerry West got with some random dude that knows Jerry?
I mean that's fine.
I do believe that happened.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that? But he's probably like, hey Jerry, you pay me $2.5 million, I'll guarantee you I'll get Kawhi. I got information that's incredible. And he's probably like, all right, whatever. What is it? What do you think? He's like, you got to tell him you're going to be competitive. Get out of here. I didn't agree to nothing.
This is stuff he said.
I know his uncle. I know his uncle, too. I'm Jerry West. Come on, what are you talking about? It's stupid. It's ridiculous. All right, hour number 2 on the way. We're going to talk a little college football with our friend Adam Kramer when we return. Stick around.
You're scrambling around. You need a haircut. Where you gonna go? I got a place that has 15 locations. I've got a place where details matter. I've got a place that can be invigorating and relaxing at the same time. You know what it is. It's Supercuts. Every haircut ends with the signature hot towel finish. Every haircut matters. When you're getting ready, you go into Supercuts. The stylist will pay attention to every detail. So you get the haircut you want, and, of course, you're going to finish with that signature hot towel. You walk out clean, sharp, and not just ready, but super ready. And you might want to ask that hairstylist about what the Tea Tree experience is. One part invigorating, one part relaxing. The Tea Tree experience is something you need to try. 15 locations. I mentioned that, didn't I? All you've got to do is go to supercuts.com. You'll find the one nearest to you. Get super ready at Supercuts.
Good news. Southland Casino is now back open. That's right. The most spacious casino floor in the Mid-South is ready to welcome you back to the action with live blackjack, roulette, craps, and all your favorite slots. The action kicks off every day at 9 a.m. and rolls all the way till 5 o'clock the next morning. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make the short drive to Southland. We're ready for you. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Hi, I'm Jay Gaddis from James Gaddis Jewelers. For over 70 years, Memphians have trusted my family for all of their holiday shopping needs. At James Gaddis Jewelers, we continue in that tradition, offering the largest selection of diamonds, bridal, and fine jewelry in the Memphis area. Whether it be an engagement ring or a beautifully custom design, come shop with us this year. Located at 4900 Poplar Avenue in the heart of East Memphis and online at GaddisJewelers.com. From my family to yours, happy holidays and Merry Christmas from James Gaddis Jewelers, your family jeweler.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levy Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking. No telephone pole to get in your way. A cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
3 touchdowns in 2 weekends. Wow. Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Bensdorf Realtors doesn't let the fall football season slow him down. People often say, when you want the job done, call Sheldon. Recently, he was about to put a home on the market at Germantown, but sold it the day before. The following weekend, he listed 2 on Friday, and the one in East Memphis had 3 offers by Saturday night, and the other one in Cordova had 4 offers by Sunday evening. Is the real estate market that good? It can be. There's no seasonal slowdown during football season when Sheldon is your quarterback. If you or someone you know is thinking of selling their home, before you draft a quarterback, make sure and have tryouts with 2 to 3 and let Sheldon run his pass pattern for you. You can reach Sheldon at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com. Do it now. That's Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or MemphisRelocate.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
So far, so good on the roadways, guys. No accidents to report, no traffic to report as well. Heading into the second hour, good start. Good start, halfway home here. Let's keep it going. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Funky, funky Christmas. I must get some food. Papa's watching football.
Food show smelling good.
Funky Friday. Love Funky Christmas.
Show love Funky Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah. Get that horn in there. Let's go. Hour number 2 on a very cold Friday. It is about 30 degrees out there. It's cold. Just really no getting around it. But Anthony Sane is here. I'm excited about that.
I'm excited
sure.
too, man. I didn't know if I was going to make it this morning, man. Been up since
I didn't either, but you're here, and that's what it's all about.
You ever
and of
heard
course,
people,
the Maven of Clean Shaven is back, ladies and gentlemen.
You ever heard people say, older people say, I'll see you tomorrow, if the good Lord say the same? Lord willing, I'll see you. I hate when people
Lord,
say
that's
that.
right.
I hate to hear people say that too, man. But anyway.
I've heard, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. That's what that's what folks used to say. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
So the creek didn't rise. The Lord was willing. Congratulations to Marko Guduric for re-signing with Fenerbahce in Turkey.
Shout out. Why did that news get out?
Gone but not forgotten.
Well,
got out because it was official. That's why I got out. So. And I said it because I'm the only one in Memphis who apparently cares about Marko Guduric anymore. And I don't even really care about him that much, honestly. But he's a nice guy. I wish him.
Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, good guy. So as we start hour number 2, we are thrilled to welcome back to the program after a week's hiatus our good friend, talking college football and the absolute mess that it is. He is Adam Cramer, ladies and gentlemen. And the news is abundant, Adam. But first of all, how are you?
Very good. Good to talk to you guys.
Good to have you here, my friend. I hope things are well in your neck of the woods. And it's hard to even know where to begin on a day like this because we have some games, but it feels, especially given the relevance to Memphis and the American Athletic Conference. I got to start with the blistering comments, the battle rap that Mike Aresco just put onto the CFP and the folks of the College Football Playoff. I've been railing on this all week, Adam. I think this last poll was just an insult to people's intelligence. It was certainly an insult to the Group of Five. It was very much an insult to Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, and Louisiana, among others. And I'm thrilled that Mike Aresco has come out and said, because I don't think anything's going to change unless people are just blatantly obvious about how rigged this whole system is. What was your reaction when you saw the shocking lack of any sort of respect given to the Group of Five?
Not surprising, but frankly, just sad. When you had Florida drop down a spot, you're showing us the cards. You've decided in advance what you're going to do, right? That's kind of what the thought was. And I've said this for years with you. We've talked about this, that if you're a Group of Five team, you frankly have no shot. Like you have no shot, and that's really frustrating. Look, my solution to this is pretty simple: do an 18 playoff, 5 automatic qualifier bids, 1 Group of 5 team, 2 teams, and do the computers again. Like, this human being thing is not working.
It's not working at all.
It's not. It's just not. Like, I'm tired of it. And then they trot these people out, like they try to have to explain this, and then, we dropped Cincinnati because they haven't played since this date, and we would have never thought about dropping Ohio State, even though they've played once in the last 5 weeks, right? So that's the part that's really frustrating, is they can justify it when they need to justify it. But it's a bummer. It's just not working. The transparency is bad. They're trying to make it so they have to, they can explain it and it makes sense. I think it somehow makes it worse. So I'm completely with you. It's time for something new.
Adam, are you expecting a lot of players? We've seen players all throughout the season that have opted out to play during the regular season, due to COVID concerns or other issues. What do you think will happen during the bowl season? I'm predicting that probably a ton of guys are just not going to play in the bowls coming up, especially, with COVID-19 in the background. What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's a trend that we've been trending toward without a pandemic.
Right.
I think what you're seeing with a lot of the players right now is they're kind of waiting to see what their team does, because rather than them opt out, you're seeing a lot of teams opt out. We're up to more than a half dozen teams, I think, that have said if we get a bowl game, we're not going to go. So it's a weird year. The element that's interesting is, eligibility is frozen. And so, technically, anybody could be back next year. And I'm wondering how that's going to impact things, right? You've got, so many different variables at play that you don't normally have. But that being said, like if I'm a player, if I'm a coach, if I'm a team, and I'm not playing in a big bowl game or the playoff, I want out. I'm going to pull the ripcord on this season. That's just my opinion. I talking to people like this has been hard, and I think people are exhausted just from having to deal with this stuff day to day. And so, yeah, if you're a player that's remotely close to the draft, you got to do your thing. And it's kind of wild. If you remember a couple years ago, Christian McCaffrey, Leonard Fournette, those guys were kind of, quote unquote, the pioneers of that. We thought it was going to cost them draft status. And I mean, both of them were top 10 picks. I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's going to become normalized regardless of what happens this year, I guess. And this year, for certain, more so than ever, it makes a lot of sense.
Well, and I mean, I don't know. At this point, I'm wondering, why so many of these bowl games are even going to be played. They're already, I mean, just in general, like they're already kind of, obviously they're ESPN creations and they do well ratings wise and all that. But from a player standpoint, like, the whole point of the bowl is to go and have fun, right? Like that's the general thing. You get your little prize pack. You go and you do all the buffets and the dinners and the luau's and the events. And then the fans get to come, and it's kind of a reward for your season. And then, whatever, the game is almost secondary sometimes. Well, now you can't do any of that stuff. Like, and you can barely get people like in to even watch the game. What's the point? Why are we even doing this? They just cut straight to the playoffs. Maybe have a few of the other select major bowls and be done with it.
Yeah, I mean, the bowl season has been struggling in the playoff era, anyways, with fans. You know what I mean? Like it's just in a different light. And so you're seeing, I mean, look at like the Rose Bowl, right? We're talking about, which is a playoff spot, potentially moving it because we can't have fans and family can't go there, right? So that's like the biggest game up until the championship that we have. So I'm a little surprised that more bowl games have not been canceled, actually. With teams opting out, there's a lot of money at stake, by the way. That's what this is all about.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You have a lot of television contracts, kind of like you did with conferences. You've got bowl games that rely on being televised on ESPN. So that's kind of why they're going to try to force this. The question is, will there be enough teams to fill it? Right? I mean, that's the really interesting part. So bowl season normally is coaches are overjoyed by it, because it's 2 weeks of extra practices. The kids get an Xbox, right? Like that's the way this goes. Like that's the formula to make everyone happy. It's a little bit of a different formula this year, and your 2 weeks of extra practices now are, frankly, a risk, right? They're at risk of being canceled.
Well, and on top of the risk that's involved in being canceled and everything else, we still have to kind of sort out the playoffs and everything else that's happening within the season. So let's go to the coaching side of it. Since we last spoke, Auburn got rid of Gus Malzahn in a move that was, there's been the flirtation constantly with Gus Malzahn being fired, not fired, here, there. We joke about every other year as a hot seat Gus year, and this time it finally happened. And it's going to cost Auburn a pretty penny in the midst of a pandemic. But the boosters and the funders of this decided that it was time for him to be out. Did that surprise you? And do you think it's going to be Kevin Steele? Looks like Kevin Steele is pushing hard to take over full time.
It surprised me, like making a move of that significance in the pandemic. 3 months ago, I thought it would be a very quiet year. And then to write a check, specifically $20+ million, $10+ million in the first 30 days, with all this going on, surprises me. But you sit back in and think about this, and this is a little rare behind-the-curtain access, I think, for all of us to how this stuff goes. It is booster-driven. It is influenced by the people who cut the checks. And so if somebody's out there, or somebody's, can cut a $20 million check, quote-unquote, for this, Auburn, it was basically a golden parachute out of it. So still a little bit surprised. I mean, this was kind of inevitable. It was a matter of when. This just didn't feel like the when. this coaching search feels like a bit of a mess, which is very Auburn-y, right? This feels very Auburn-y in that you're going to pay $20 million for this guy to go away, and you're not going to hire someone that's going to ignite a great deal of optimism, potentially, if Steele's the hire. And that doesn't mean he's not going to be a good coach, right? He could be fine. He could be great. But, that's not – you think Nick Saban is scared of that? Like, no. And you trotted him out on National Signing Day, which I thought was very interesting, to kind of deliver a press conference. That is a tip right there, right? You're not going to do that with your normal interim coach. You're not going to bring him out on National Signing Day and have him speak to people unless you think there's a chance that he gets the job. Cristobal gets a new contract at Oregon. We've not heard much from Hugh Freeze. I think it's very, very interesting. But, yeah, right now I feel like Steele is potentially – it feels like Steele's the job is his to lose. Behind the scenes, though, it seems like there's a great deal of power and influence being, displayed for Steele. And I think it sounds like you've got other people that would rather do something else. Not a great way to hire a coach, by the way. It's nice to have money. It's nice to have resources. This is where things get very, very complicated.
I don't know. The timing of it is strange. Like for Vanderbilt, like it's understandable Vanderbilt and Clark Lee has a tough job on his hands, but he's an alum and it makes sense in what they did. There is also some some smoke coming from Tennessee on this whole situation and Jeremy Pruitt, and we've talked about the just kind of general nothingness that whole thing has turned into. Lost a lot of commits on signing day, lost a lot of commits over the last week or so. That's usually even some 3-star guys. Like that's normally when it's, oh boy, you're getting into some trouble when you see stuff like that. And some rumors started to swirl. I don't know why he got the extension to begin with, but he was asked on Monday, and he said, I'm just focused on I'm focused on Texas A&M, that sort of thing. Do you think that there's anything to this? Do you think that it could indeed happen?
Yeah, I think it could. I think there's enough smoke now where there could be something here. What's interesting though, if you're Tennessee, right, you have to look at what Auburn's doing, and you're going to ask yourself, it's beyond the money, which is hard to go beyond. You got to do like a dramatic pause there and say beyond the money. But what are you going to do, right? Like that's the thing that's really interesting to me. Is this going to be an emotional decision, a financial decision, but strategy-wise, do you have your guy? I got to say this. Hugh Freeze in Tennessee, Google search aside of what Hugh Freeze's wiki says in the, what does it usually say, scandal? There's a scandal section. Whatever you want to call that sector of Hugh Freeze's life, I think that would be a really, really fun fit and a great fit for Hugh Freeze. Am I crazy here? I want to ask my Tennessee friend of what he would feel like if Hugh Freeze was the, let's say they make the move, and that's the name that's called. What is the emotions from a Tennessee fan?
Well, I mean, we talked about it before. For me personally, it's different because he used to be my teacher back in the day. He was my geometry teacher in high school.
What?
And the coach you didn't know that? We haven't talked about that before. Yeah, Hugh Freeze was my.
What is that?
Yeah, Hugh Freeze was my coached at my school at high school here in Memphis, and then he was my teacher for a couple of years and all that. So yeah, I've known him forever. So it is always there's an extra little bit of weirdness when we talk about all this stuff with Hugh Freeze because of the connection, let's say. And as I always said, as a geometry teacher, he was a hell of a football coach. I'm pretty sure I knew more about geometry than he did. But we watched a lot of film. We watched a lot of film in geometry. So I can tell you that. He would wheel in the VCR back in those days when you wheeled.
Not
you
surprising.
Actually wheeled in the
football
cart.
Guy.
Football guy through and through. So that kind of complicates things. Man, he's done a great job though, and he's energized Liberty. I want Tennessee to try something different. It's not this Butch Jones, Jeremy Pruitt, football guy kind of that sort of thing. It's just not working, man. And I given what Hugh Freeze has done, man, I would be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. I would encourage it. Let's go. Let's get something different, because the whole defensive-minded thing is just, I don't know. It's not working. It's not working. You gotta rip it. You gotta rip it.
Score.
You got a lot of good offense now in the SEC. It's different. You got to go after it a little bit.
I just feel like if you're going to make, and this is my not my criticism, but the issue with Auburn, I feel like if you're going to make this decision in a year like this with this much financial impact, you got to have your guy, right? You got to.
Yeah.
There's got to be a part two to this that you already established, that you're paying this money to do it. The Auburn decision, unsurprisingly, feels very emotional. It's like you're ripping this Band-Aid off at a time where maybe you didn't have to. Or maybe you did, or do it a year. Again, it's a lot of money. With Tennessee, I think it's even more interesting because Pruitt looked like it. We were talking 6 months ago about just this recruiting class and the future of Tennessee, and I mean, even to start this season, it was like this is really heading in the right direction, and how quickly it turns. Once you lose that, it's hard to get it back, right? Once that goes sideways, unfair, it's a cruel business. It's really hard to regain it. And in the recruiting world, when you see what happens, it's nearly impossible to regain it unless you kind of magically zombie your way through this thing like Clay Helton has done. That dude's incredible. I mean, that and I don't mean as like an incredible coach. He's doing a nice job. That guy has somehow done the ultimate life support act. It's really hard to mimic it.
He's threaded the needle in extraordinary fashion. I agree. I don't know. Now we've got I tell you what, can you hang with me just a little bit longer? Because I want to talk about some of these championship games and some of the matchups, and I want to make sure we got time to do it. So let's take a break. We'll come back with Adam and talking about the actual championship games, the ones that we know about, and the ones that are happening, and the ones that aren't, including tough news from the Sun Belt and from two of the great stories in college football this year. And what do we do about this? What do we do about Ohio State? What do we do? Lots of questions, and I think we'll answer some of them. We'll do our best to answer all of them, but these are going to be tough. We'll find out more when we continue here, live from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops this holiday season for the hottest gifts from Callaway. Save on the Maverick, Maverick Max, and Maverick Sub-Zero drivers with uniquely engineered faces designed by AI to improve club head speed and increase forgiveness. Now on sale for just $399. And save big on Chrome Soft and Chrome Soft X golf balls, now just $39.99 a dozen. Come into Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get custom fit today. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, your holiday headquarters since 1968, and shop online at worldwidegolfshops.com.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch is here to make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. Ladies' boutique style clothing, Carhartt for the guys, and boots for everyone. For Frontier's boutique department, you'll find the latest trends at incredible prices. We also carry a huge inventory of basics like leggings, tops, tunics, dresses, CC beanies, scarves, gloves, new styles of fleece jackets, and much, much more. Guys will be after Frontier's large assortment of Carhartt and Ariat jeans and shirts. Now, how about a new coat, jacket, or insulated overalls? Frontier has that too. Don't forget the boots. Work boots and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, Ariat, and more. Frontier is the place to come for name brand boots at an everyday low price. There are thousands of boots available in all sizes for men, women, and children. Frontier gift cards are also available and make a perfect last-minute gift. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
You hear the phrase a lot this time of year, happy holidays. But holidays are not always happy, particularly for guys grappling with a divorce that they didn't choose. These men need more than the help of a good lawyer. They need the hope and encouragement of a good friend.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Memphis attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Office in Memphis, 6000 Poplar Avenue, Suite 225, Memphis, Tennessee, 38119.
75 months at 3% 3.4%. G4 LHF 129.69, MSRP 17,064. Outlander LZO 423.83, MSRP 26,235. PEV LZO 388.19, MSRP 38.1. Outlander PEV qualifies for a $5,836 federal tax credit. Consult your tax advisor. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax filing license with approved credit. CD for complete details. Offer ends 12/31/2020. Dealer stock only.
Where can you find 0% APR for 60 months, plus up to $1,000 cash back on 2020 crossovers, plus $500 holiday cash, plus payments at $99 a month? We Gossett at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike during the 2020 year-end sales event. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. Buy for $11,749 or $99 a month. 2020 Outlander. $20,571 or $259 a month. Plus crossover with 4x4 off-road capabilities with 74 MPG. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid EV. $25,099 or $299 a month. Not leases, you own them. And Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Are you looking for a dependable car at a fair price and guaranteed financing approval? Then you need to make your way to Collierville Auto Center, where one price shopping is the name of the game. Family owned and operated, Collierville Auto Center has been in the business for over 20 years and is proud to serve the people of this area. Collierville Auto Center is stocked with over 50 units, including cars, trucks, SUVs, and Highlines. Looking for a particular type of vehicle? Collierville Auto Center offers a locator service with 72-hour turnaround service. With over 30 years in the automotive industry, Scott Martin would be happy to show you how their affordable pricing and guaranteed financing can work for you. Come see Scott and his professional staff of Terry, Branson, Q for your car needs. Conveniently located at 651 West Poplar Avenue, Collierville Auto Center is situated where Highway 72 meets Poplar and Collierville. Please look them up on the web at ColliervilleAutoCenter.com. Call at 901-853-0240 or simply come and see them for an outstanding car buying experience. At Collierville Auto Center, they're here for you.
Sports 56 traffic.
Still no accidents on the roadways this morning. Not one to report, not one traffic jam. So far, so good, ladies and gentlemen. We halfway home. Let's keep it going. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
We're getting down beneath the Christmas tree. People getting down beneath the Christmas tree.
Funky Christmas on a Funky Friday. Hour number 2 continues. Our good friend Adam Kramer joining us to talk college football. What do we do about the Sun Belt? Adam Kramer, we got no Sun Belt championship game. Yesterday it was announced that position grouping issues and COVID-related stuff means that Coastal is unable to perform for the championship game. Huge implications in this game from a Sun Belt perspective to put a capper on what's been a remarkable season, really for both Coastal Carolina and for Louisiana. Coach Billy Napier of Louisiana tweeted out just a few minutes ago, surely we're going to reschedule this game, right? How do you reschedule a championship game at this point? What do you do?
I don't have a great solution to this. Maybe you just run this back in a bowl game. I mean,
maybe.
I'd love that. I would absolutely love to see that. Just move this thing back a few weeks. This is very 2020, right? This one's a real bummer, though. I know we're not going to get a playoff team out of this, but this was going to be a great game. It was going to be a really interesting measuring stick for both. Coastal had to do a master class escape routine to get past Troy in the ultimate hangover spot. Louisiana's been fantastic, and obviously a win over Iowa State now looks great. I don't know what you do to play this game, but I would like it to be played, and this is all about what I want, right? That's basically
Absolutely.
what you're getting in here. Yeah,
absolutely.
So I don't know what you do, but if I'm a bowl game, can you just resurrect a bowl game out of thin air to say, hey, we're going to crown a champion this way? I think most people who've watched these teams would be thrilled to see it just sort of replace or just be moved back as much as it has to be to happen.
On the title games that will happen, the controversial Big Ten, Ohio State, Northwestern, and there's all kinds of rumors continuing to swirl about maybe some new COVID issues with Ohio State. We'll see if there's any truth to that. But should they even be in this game? Well, based on the rules that the Big Ten put out there to begin the season, no, they shouldn't. But here they are, and there's every motivation for them to cover this 19.5, right? But that is, I don't know. Should this even be happening?
There are not much other ways to do this other than this way, right? A lot of other teams, I feel like this is aging better. It's shocking at the time. The Big Ten backed itself into multiple corners by setting up these rules and delaying its season. The Big Ten is the one stumbling here and stepping on landmine after landmine. I think with Ohio State, Indiana had COVID issues, right? Your options here are pretty limited. And if you're the Big Ten, this is what you need to get in. And I don't think, yes, we can argue whether it should be happening or not, but deep down, I think we all kind of understand. So, I think the game itself is pretty interesting. I don't know how to say this. I'm trying to look for I don't think Ohio State is overrated, but I think Ohio State's sample size is a little bit mixed. Yes, you clobbered Michigan State, and you looked like Ohio State in that game, and that's fine. But you didn't look like Ohio State against Indiana. You did for about, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, maybe a quarter and a half. Okay, you didn't look like Ohio State against Rutgers or Penn State. It was not very good. So if you're going to go off sample size, you have to really, invest in understanding the outcomes of all those games. And I don't think Ohio State was great. That said, I don't know if you're Northwestern, this isn't a pace that you want. You've got to sit on this football for hopefully, 40, 45 minutes. Somehow you got to find a way for ball control, which is going to be easier said than done. I just don't think this is a particularly great matchup for Northwestern. That goes without saying. Ohio State is the most, outside of an Alabama and maybe a few others, there's just not teams that with this collection of athletic talent. And when you look up and down, position groups in the roster, where does Northwestern have the advantage here? They don't, not in pretty much any spot. And that's not new. It's not surprising, but it's why the line is what it is.
Do you like Ohio State with that number?
I'm kind of hesitant. This is probably a stay away game for me. Because I do think Northwestern can ugly this up and make things weird. This is it's a complete cop-out answer, by the way. I could see anything in this game. I have not seen Ohio State enough to make a really good conclusion over who they are. And I think we'll at least get a better idea. Northwestern is not a joke. That Michigan State loss is frankly kind of baffling. And if it wasn't for that, I'd say, I think they got a chance to cover. But I want to wait and see. And for me, it's probably a stay away.
Alabama, Florida. There is, I don't know, Florida. That was such a insane game last week with LSU. The fog. Who throws a shoe? Honestly, you have any number of weird things that happen, and somehow LSU trying to salvage what has been a mostly disastrous season, and certainly off the field they're having a disastrous last few weeks. But they did get the win on the field. So Florida's coming off of that. Meanwhile, Alabama, they are, I think, in a position where it really doesn't matter what happens in this game. Honestly, they can lose and they're still in. They win, obviously they're gonna go into the playoffs, playing great. They put up historic numbers here, Kramer. Is this a potential spot for a Florida surprise, or does Alabama just keep being Alabama?
I think Alabama's going to keep being Alabama. I think Florida, that game has been coming. Like even the Tennessee game, which I know you watched, that was kind of a slog of a game for Florida.
Yeah.
Now, Florida has a great quarterback and some great weapons, and hopefully they're all going to be back. And if that's the case, they're going to score some points, right? Where I'm going with this is I like the over. I know it's pretty high. I like the total, though. Florida's defense has not been very good, right? Like, it's gotten better. Both these defenses have gotten better, but I'm wondering if Florida's defense has gotten better because of who they played. Last week, against a team with a true freshman quarterback and an offense where both of the top wide receivers have opted out, it didn't play particularly good. That's a real problem, by the way, if you're going up against Devonta Smith and Najee Harris and Mac Jones. Devonta Smith, by the way, with a good game, needs to win the Heisman. I could rant on that for days. So I just
was about to ask you about that. So yeah, you.
Good. I'll save it then for a minute, and I want to hear your thoughts. But yeah, I just think Alabama is. I think Alabama's just too good. I mean, what's been amazing to me is defensively the 180 they've done, and they've done it against largely bad teams. But still, I've been very impressed with that. I just think this is. Alabama looks like far and away. We get obsessed with like the 3 seed and the 4 seed. And Alabama looks like it's going to be one of its most dominant versions ever. I think we'll have an idea just how dominant this team can be, after this game is played.
It's a big number, but I agree with you as far as the line and total, both big. But it's hard to go against Alabama either way. Now, Devonta Smith specifically, I was going to ask, in this day and age, I don't know if any non-quarterback can win the Heisman, but it does seem that there's starting to be a drumbeat for Devonta Smith, and there should be. When Nick Saban says he's never seen a player quite have the impact that Devonta Smith has had, that's high praise indeed. I'm 100% on board with this. He should win the Heisman. He's the best player in America.
Yes, and look, before he was best player in America, Jalen Waddle was putting up a ridiculous season before he got hurt, right? And so Devonta Smith, you lose maybe the best wide receiver in the country, or one of the two of them. They might both be here. And then this guy steps up in a way that's huge. Everything that had to happen last weekend did for Devonta Smith to win the Heisman. Kyle Trask loses, wasn't overly impressive. Alabama wins. Mac Jones, fine, like you crushed Arkansas, but Mac Jones didn't have a great statistical game. And Devonta Smith returned a punt. In terms of odds, we got a wide receiver this deep. That's the second choice in the odds, right? At like 2-1. People, this does not happen. That's what's exciting for me. I've covered Devonta Smith. I really like Devonta Smith. I appreciate greatness. He's the best player in college football right now. But beyond that, I really want Heisman voting to get blown up with TNT. Right? That's what I want most of all.
Yep.
Is because I hate how this has just become a quarterback award. And I think this is a legit season, a legit player that can change that. The problem with this, you've got over 900 people, I believe, that vote for this award. You got 900 people. And while there's people out there like me that are parading around for Devonta Smith, it's a little bit, not everybody of that 900. It's going to feel that way. They're going to feel Mac Jones. They're going to have comfort in Mac Jones and Kyle Trask. In this game, the outcome of this game is very interesting, right? Assuming, let's say Alabama wins. What is the formula for Devonta Smith? Well, the formula is for him to do his thing. A punt return certainly wouldn't hurt, right? So I'm very, very interested. But, yeah, he's in position, and this is very different from something we've seen before.
The scenarios out there for Clemson Notre Dame in the ACC championship, what has to happen for one of these two teams not to feel confident in their playoff position?
And you're talking, sorry, it went in and out for a second. You're talking Clemson Notre Dame?
Yeah, Clemson Notre Dame. What has to happen for one of these two teams not to feel confident in a playoff position?
Well, I think, look, in my opinion, Notre Dame should be supremely confident. And the only thing that maybe can change that is if they lose by 50 points. And I don't even know if that should change that. If you're only going to drop Florida a spot for losing as a 23.5-point favorite, okay, kind of embarrassingly, And it's not just a shoe throw. That game was lost a lot across the 60 minutes. Then if I'm Notre Dame, I'm in. If you're Clemson, obviously you're in with a win. I think if you're Clemson risking it with a loss, that's not a position they want to be in my opinion, with A&M playing as well as it has. So I really think it boils down to this. If you want chaos, okay, if you're into that sort of thing, we all kind of are into chaos. Here's the sources of it. Okay, Notre Dame winning is chaos. Northwestern winning is chaos. I think those are the two possibilities where all of a sudden the committee has a sweat. If not, I think it's very simple, right? Alabama gets in. Clemson wins as a double-digit favorite. They get in. Notre Dame is still in, assuming the game is moderately close. There's in Ohio State. Yeah, I mean, I've wanted conference championship drama since we've started. What's the best source we have? I was thinking about this the other day. I was at that Ohio State game with Cardell Jones where they beat Wisconsin by about 1,000 points. Okay, that was fun. And that was electric. You had TCU in the mix, and it wasn't even, that wasn't a shock per se, but it was definitely exciting. The conference championships have largely been a bust in the playoff era. I mean, you haven't had that game. You haven't had that game like you had last week with LSU Florida, where something spectacularly weird happened, and the committee had to completely reshuffle its decks. Unless something changes this week, I kind of get the same vibe, and that's a shame because I'd love to see something different.
It could be. What about what is there any scenario like Texas A&M beating Tennessee by 1 million really doesn't Tennessee's not any good, so who cares? But would that, coupled with a Clemson loss, would that be enough? Would that overcome? I mean, if the eye test is kinder to Texas A&M now than it would have been, several weeks ago, is that still a possibility? Surely there's no avenue for Florida or anyone else to get back into the mix.
The only issue with that, if you dive deep into this, is what A&M's resume ultimately looks like. That win against Florida, assuming a loss to Alabama, they'll lose some shine, right? Significant shine. That A&M loss to Alabama, it's a good loss. Losing to Alabama is good. Losing by 30 is not. So if Notre Dame loses by 30, what are you going to do here, right? That's the thing. So assuming Notre Dame doesn't get completely blown out, I think it's really difficult because that Notre Dame win is still going to be the best win on the board then, right? They have that.
For sure. Yeah.
So, and I think A&M, one of the things A&M hasn't done that Ohio State does is just, they obliterated Michigan State. A&M didn't obliterate LSU. A&M has done a really methodical job of just beating teams, but it hasn't necessarily been overwhelming, and style points do kind of matter. So, yes, they are obviously next up in line. Yes, they have a compelling case. I don't know if there's enough that you can do in that Tennessee game to convince anybody that this team is much different than it is. So, sure, if something goes their way and Ohio State loses, I think they're next up. But outside of that, when you look at that resume, I don't know if there's enough else on there to say hey, this is what we think that, you know what I mean? It's just really good team, phenomenal year. And I think that team's got a really fun future, by the way. But they need some help.
I'm just going to tell you this. I have no particular, I don't have a super compelling reason for this. Maybe it's a feeling, whatever. I think Tennessee is going to cover.
I do too.
13.5. I don't know.
And I don't have a great argument for it either, by the way. It's kind of sad. I don't either. It's just a feel. I think they've played better. And again, I think A&M kind of plays with fire, a little bit.
If there's any backbone at all, from the guys who want Jeremy Pruitt to be there, and presumably some of them do. If there's any kind of thought at all about that, if there's any sort of backbone from Jim Chaney, who is under great fire Tennessee's offensive coordinator, making $1.6 million, refused to give any of it back in the midst of a pandemic, and has basically pooped the bed for most of the season. If there's anything left for him to show, it's got to come now. It's got to come here. And I think combine that with Texas A&M's propensity to just kind of, play it a little close, and maybe, I don't know if pressure performing is the best. I'm still kind of a little iffy sometimes with them. So you combine those two things, I don't know. I would like to get up to 14, but I just bet on FanDuel Sportsbook 13.5. I'll take the 13.5. So I don't know. It's a feeling. I'm with you. It's
not an easy thing to explain because I wrote about this week, and I picked them in my pick. And like in writing about it, I'm like, boy, I understand if people think that this is really stupid that I'm doing this. But I'm going to do it anyways. And here's why, sort of, right? And so we are going in that together. There's just something about that line that jumped out to me. And we'll find out. We'll see if we are indeed right or wrong.
Also, it's weird, real quick, because I've taken up too much of your time already, but thank you so much for all of that. It's weird too because we have a couple other SEC games and a couple other conference games in the midst of conference championship week, which is really weird, but I guess appropriate for this one. Any thoughts on Ole Miss minus 2.5 against LSU? Any thoughts on what is essentially a pick'em between Mississippi State and Missouri?
I do like. I think that Mississippi State line is like the contrarian line of the week. Frankly, it's been a really weird year for Mike Leach. I think Missouri. That line is the sirens are up, and you know how much I love those siren lines.
Mm-hmm.
So I would lean Mississippi State there. I think they'll find a way to close out in kind of a weird high note. The Ole Miss. It's probably one of the most exciting games of the weekend. Frankly, it's like one of the most intriguing games. I would probably lean Ole Miss. Total is a little bit high, and not from an Ole Miss side because I think they'll do their thing. I don't know if the opponent can duplicate the effort. So I'd probably lean Ole Miss, but the one I'd really like there is Mississippi State. I mean that is like red alert. Like, and I'm why didn't you ask me about Nebraska Rutgers? By the way, I mean that's like the game of the week. Isn't it amazing that game exists?
Feel free to opine away. Yes.
Over, by the way. Over Nebraska Rutgers. Thank you for asking. I can't believe some of these games actually exist, and they're playing them in a pandemic, but they are.
Yeah. Well, I just did. I hit a two-team Mississippi parlay on your advice on FanDuel Sportsbook as we were talking. Ole Miss and Mississippi State, two-teamer, so that's pretty good.
I like it. The old Mississippi parlay. Nice.
The Mississippi parlay. You could do that and many more things on FanDuel Sportsbook. Thank you so much, Adam. I appreciate it, man. Have yourself a good one. We'll talk next week when hopefully we have a little more clarity on all of this.
Sounds good, my friend. Have a good one.
All right. Have a good one, bud. Thank you so much. Adam Kramer joining us. We won't talk next week specifically because it'll be Christmas Day next week, but we will talk next week at some point with Adam Kramer. When we come back, we'll digest all of this. I want to get your thoughts on the matchups this weekend and what happens from a college football playoff perspective. We'll do that next as we continue. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
You have opinions?
I think they got a lot of athletic ability.
We want to hear them.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you.
Call us on the First Bank phone line at 360-8255 or text us on the First Bank text line at 67129.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies, we will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Fiveash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Fiveash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh-made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Hello, sports fans. This is Jay Gaddis from James Gaddis Jewelers. Christmas is here, and we want to help you find the perfect gift for the special someone at the top of your list. With the largest selection of engagement rings, diamonds, and fine jewelry in the Mid-South, we are Memphis's Christmas jewelry store. Whether you're looking to pop the big question or trying to get off someone's naughty list, we're here to help. Come visit us at 4900 Poplar Avenue or online at GaddisJewelers.com and spread a little Christmas cheer with a beautiful gift from James Gaddis Jewelers, your family jeweler.
Get fast-acting sore throat relief now in VapoCool Drops Honey Lemon Chill flavor. The only honey lemon drops with max strength and made with real honey for fast-acting sore throat relief. VapoCool Drops Honey Lemon Chill flavor starts working in seconds. Now VapoCool Drops in the flavor you love, Honey Lemon Chill. Make sure your family's prepared for cold and flu season. Get VapoCool Drops on your next grocery store trip. Also available from online retailers. VapoCool Drops Honey Lemon Chill flavor.
Rocking around, the Kia rides have a happy holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $3149 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike. Or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME $299.10, MSRP $20,625. Sold M7755,682, MSRP $20,315, K5 MG 003199, MSRP $25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF $695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20. Dealer stock only.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Wonder what's happening, world? Now answer that. Woo, yeah.
Christmas. Yeah. That's right. It's a funky Christmas. You think anything weird's going to happen this weekend, Anthony Sane?
College football-wise?
College football-wise, you think you got anything weird that
just
might
took a
happen?
final look at everything. I don't see anything out of the ordinary happening. I think everything's pretty much going to go according to what the odds makers say. I don't see any upsets. Ohio State, as far as betting-wise, of course, I don't think everybody's going to cover, but as far as outright, upsets, I don't really think I see any. Florida can't deal with Alabama. Ohio State's probably going to kill Northwestern. We talked about that with Adam. I don't see anything. I think Cincinnati needs to just pummel Tulsa just to kind of, they might need to run the score up just to show people that they ain't playing with them out here, man. They feel some type of way about all the slights they've been getting. But no, I don't see any upsets.
I don't know. I feel like I think, I don't know. To me, you could see. I would love to see. I think Notre Dame winning would be very interesting. Given Clemson's previous loss to them, and what else would happen if you combine that with a big Texas A&M victory, for example. Something like that would be interesting and potentially chaotic. It just feels like this year has been preordained almost. Like the idea that it's pretty much just a done deal, and hey, it's going to be Clemson, Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Like, it just feels like we've worked backwards from that result, and so I don't know, man.
And of course, we'll be wrong. We'll look up to be upset all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, it just feels like that's the way that it's been, and so you're kind of working backwards, which is strange, but that's where we are in this college football season. So I don't know, man. I think I'll be curious to see how it plays out, and I would love for the committee to get the message that people have said this week about how stupid and ridiculous they were, and if Cincinnati just can put something together and destroy Tulsa, and I don't know, something weird happened, at least give them a little.
Then people will say, well, that just speaks to how bad their conference was. They look how they destroyed the team.
That's what I mean. You can use whatever arguments you want, however you want to use them. They don't want the little man to have any opportunity. That's the end of it. At the end of the day, that's the situation. They just don't want that. So,
yep.
We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Coming up, hour number 3, we'll get back into the Grizzlies a little bit from last night. The rest of the NBA college hoops as well. So a little basketball when we return. Also, Kari Thompson is going to join us. Talk a little prep hoops and where things stand there. So we'll do all of that when we continue. Hour number 2 in the books. Hour number 3 on the way from the Family Leisure Studios. Stick around.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
I'm a big fan of Town Village, and there is always something to do year-round. Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Hey, I heard that you just got a new car.
Yes, I sure did, and I could not believe how simple it was.
Really? Tell me what happened.
I bought my car at Cars Inc. They are family owned, and the choices of cars were the best I've ever seen. They even said they could price match with anyone and help me with whatever financing I needed.
Wow, it does sound like they know what they are doing.
Their family has been in the car business for over 30 years, and they're excited about being in Memphis.
Where are they?
5095 Cummington Way, and their phone number is 901-623-7180.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian
Good news. Southland Casino is now back open. That's right. The most spacious casino floor in the Mid-South is ready to welcome you back to the action with live blackjack, roulette, craps, and all your favorite slots. The action kicks off every day at 9 a.m. and rolls all the way till 5 o'clock the next morning. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make the short drive to Southland. We're ready for you. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Hey everybody, down to the last few days of the year, and everyone at All-Star Chevrolet asked me to thank all of you for sticking with them through all the challenges this year. Now, if you want an unreal deal on a new Chevy, Olive Branch is where you want to be. All-Star Chevrolet has year-end markdowns on everything. New Silverados, Traverse, Equinox, Suburban, Tahoes, Camaros, even Impalas. They have the new 2020 and 2021 Silverados and Traverse with plenty of cash back. I just drove the new Camaro. Yeah, they let even me test drive that. And my favorite Impala. I love them. I love them all, and you will too. Go make them an offer on any Chevy car, SUV, or truck you want. They'll take it. All posted at their website at allstarautogroup.com. They have the best certified pre-owned Chevy selection anywhere, barely driven and fully warranted. And everyone at All-Star Chevrolet has one job, just one job, to make sure you have fun, get the best deal, and in record time. Remember, it's not Mount Moriah or South Haven, not the Pike or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to Kraft Goodman Road and Olive Branch for the end of the year deal you will never forget, or go to allstarautogroup.com. And Happy New Year from our friends at All-Star Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join us every Saturday morning on Sports 56 WHBQ from 8 to 10 a.m. and 96.1 FM and the new FM 98.5. We'll be covering the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, college football, college basketball, college baseball. We'll look into recruiting. We'll have guests from around the country with the latest news, the most knowledgeable people out there, the coaches, the players, the people who play the games. Don't forget to join us on the sidelines. Sports 56, 96.1, and the new FM 98.5.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Hey man, give yourselves a pat on the back, honk the horn, do something, like nothing crazy, because we're still accident free here in the city of Memphis. That is amazing, man. Like, congratulations on you guys going to work or heading out, taking care of some business, keeping your eyes on the road, two hands on the steering wheel. The only thing to report is out in Arkansas, over in Mark Tree, Arkansas, I-555 northbound near mile marker 16. That area is closed due to an accident over in Arkansas. But other than that, here in the city of Memphis, so far, so good. We're clean through 3 hours. Appreciate that. And this is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Man, what's the matter with you? Don't you know it's Christmas? Hey, man, come on in here, man. We having fun, man. It's a Christmas party.
Yep.
Yeah. I bought a cruise ship. It's a cruise ship. Now my crew tripping while we cruise tripping. Come on, man. Man, that was straight bars, bro.
Santa brought me a cruise ship. It is hour number 3, presented by our friends at Acura of Memphis. Welcome in, everybody, on a very cold Friday. It is right around 30 degrees, so you definitely want to bundle up if you go outside. Looking like our friend Zach Boyd, producer of the program, now back to the maven of clean shaven, looking great. But he's definitely got that toboggan on, got that big old fuzzy hat with the big fuzzy ball on the top of it. You probably need something similar when you go outside today. It is very, very chilly today. Now, we've talked a bunch of college football in our last segment with Adam Kramer. We talked a little bit in the very first part of the show last night. The first basketball back at FedEx Forum in some time. It has been 9 months since we've seen basketball in FedEx Forum. It was preseason basketball, but it was basketball nonetheless. Yep. And it was impressive basketball from the Grizzlies, knocking off the Atlanta Hawks in, frankly, easy style. The score doesn't even really matter. It was really about just the performance overall and a very impressive one from the Grizzlies. We'll talk more specifics about the Grizzlies coming up here in just a few moments. We'll also get a little college basketball coming up too. So a lot of hoops on the horizon. If you want to join us, you can. 67129 on the First Bank text line, 67129. 360-8255 on the First Bank phone line. And joining us to talk hoops and more is our pal, Kari Thompson, who joins us this time every Friday. Kari, what's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, Peter? What's up, Anthony? How
What's
y'all
going on,
doing?
my brother? Good, man. Good.
Life is good. What's happening? What's popping?
What is popping indeed? So what's popping for you? The world of preps now. We have turned the page officially on football, now into the basketball realms, and we're seeing it happen here and there. We're seeing some action all over the area and the country and stuff. Everybody's kind of treading somewhat lightly to some extent, but I don't know, Kari. We're still seeing plenty. Does it come a point when we see these record number of cases, record number of totals, and all that we just shut everything down completely, or do you still think we're going to see plenty of basketball action in the area, even if it's still something of a question about Shelby County?
I think we're going to continue to play basketball, but it's certainly a possibility of a step down. Just remember they didn't finish the state tournament last year, so we're in the regular season. It's completely possible. It's just that I don't know how bad it's going to get, and you have these individual school systems and municipalities and private schools making their own decisions on these things. So that's where it's a school by school thing. Although I remember from the summertime, it seems like the 6 municipalities, like the suburban schools, seems like they kind of moved together in what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
If my memory serves correctly. But there's no legislative body going, hey, we're not going to play basketball in Shelby County. Up to the schools.
Well, Kari, we saw that Jonathan Lawson officially transferred to Houston. We joked about his whole situation last week. And now we have official word from from Jonathan himself, that he's going to be transferring to Houston. Do you have any more details on that, and what do you expect to see with him being over there with Coach Mike Miller at Houston?
Yeah, so Jonathan, he transferred there this week. I think he got there Monday. It's obviously huge for the Houston basketball program. Now, I don't think he's going to start playing immediately. I think they have to kind of iron out his eligibility situation, because basically, unless they move or got a hardship, or Keelan joins the staff, there might be some eligibility questions. So,
that's COVID. Just clear them all.
That's what they should do. But I don't know. You know how TSSAA is, man. They stick to those rules.
Yeah, exactly. The select.
And those are the scenarios that need to be in play. So, I need to get with Keelan to see which one of those scenarios we're under. But yeah, that's where we're at. He's transferred. Hopefully he'll be playing ball by the end of the new year. And, that team already has a ton of size. And then you add a 6 to 7 guard. They should, at this point, they should win the AAA state title. If they don't win, it's going to be a disappointment in my eyes.
It's so weird, man, being a Memphian when you've watched the Lawson family forever. And I remember watching Dietrich and KJ playing in a summer league game together. I think their final year at Hamilton. And Jonathan was literally a little boy, you know what I mean? out on the court, dribbling the basketball. And now you look at him, and he's, one of the better players in the city and getting ready to go off to college. What do you think that we've seen Chandler, who's still at Oregon. He's doing fine. We saw his two brothers go through Memphis, and their college careers are over with. Dietrich, did a little semi-pro type things for a while, to get similar time in the G League under the Spurs, whatever. What do you think Jonathan's potential can be as far as being a pro?
It's tough to judge, because I've seen a lot of Jonathan playing against high school teams that he was destroying.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't seen a ton of him in those like showcase environments. Like I saw them play Montverde, and like I think he was matched up with Cade Cunningham. That didn't go too great for him. But you know, I've seen him play the Mitchell and the OK,
right?
You know, so but I mean, obviously, as a guard who's over 6'6", great size, right? Shoot it. He's a great scorer. You know, his defense is improving. He's a very good rebounder for his size. Averaged a double-double last season. I think he can definitely be a very good, you know, Power 5 player. I mean, if you look at what Chandler's doing at Oregon, you know, he played in every game last year as a freshman and got decent minutes. And so, you know, if you look at that, I think those two can develop together into something good over there.
Well, the whole transfer situation, it's a weird one to see. The thing is to me, Kari, that you know the Lawson family is pretty remarkable in many ways. I mean, if you look at the amount of talent and you look at just the sheer number of guys and what they've done. I think, you know, just from a DNA perspective, you got to bet on Jonathan. You know, you just have to kind of look and say, man, you know, odds are it's probably going to work out. But I agree, of all the guys that he has his body type is the one that has the most to prove as far as going up against the highest level of opposition. Because I think athletically he combines some of that lack of athleticism that we saw from Diedrich and them with a body type that's, you know, positionally, I'm not sure where you put him in an elite level. So I'm with you. I kind of want to see him against different opposition to get a feel for what he can do out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. His body type's pretty good. Like, you know, he's tall and lanky, but like, you know, a college program is going to fix that. You know, and I'm of the belief that if you can shoot and you're as athletic as he is and big as he is, you can play.
Right.
And he can fit. So you know, whether he's a guard, I mean, he calls himself a guard. I see him as more of a forward, but yeah, he'll find his way into something like that. I mean, he can just. I mean, he led the county in scoring last year, like baller.
So you say he's definitely a wing, though, because I mean, in Memphis we throw around everybody's a wing too in Memphis. I mean, until we see that he's not. So, but he's clearly a wing in your eyes.
He's not a point guard, in my eyes. Again, I'm not Dana Altman, so don't quote me on this. But like, I don't see him as a point guard, and I also don't see him as a big. Like, I see him as a wing for sure.
Okay.
Well, and that's where it's kind of you don't know exactly where things are going to go from here for him. But I mean, again, you have to. I think you bet on him to figure it out. You bet on the program to figure it out because of where he's come from and because of his his backdrop and who he's played against and who his brothers are and all that stuff. So it just makes perfect sense to do it like that. You've seen some of the local kids now, and you've seen the Memphis area. Do you think is Penny and the way things are going with the Tigers, particularly from a recruiting standpoint, is it having any impact one way or the other, the way things are transpiring right now?
I don't think so. I think that he offered supposedly offered Amar Knox after the Iverson Classic. So that's a good thing. Recruiting the Bartlett's new addition, who transferred from Central because FCS couldn't play. But I've always kind of had the feeling that like Penny and them are not getting deep for a lot of local kids. Like, I feel like they can get local kids if they want them. It's just like they kind of decided that their priorities were elsewhere the last couple of years. Like, I think the brand is so strong in the city. I think there's like a lot of kids who would love to be a Memphis Tiger. It's just a question of who Penny wants, really. Like, how many recruiting battles has like Penny outright lost?
He's pretty good. He's got a pretty good record.
I mean, Sam, were you about to say something? Like, how many recruiting battles are like, damn, Penny got beat on that one? Like, it's not many.
Maybe Kennedy Chandler, because I think there's a little cap in the whole thing for saying that Memphis wasn't interested in him. So yeah, I think that may be the one that I'll say.
And that's the big one.
Are we talking just locally? Or are we talking locally?
You mean local ones, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm,
Talking local. Yeah.
I think Kennedy Chandler is the only one that I would say that he's really lost.
Right. So he can pretty much get who he wants.
Mm.
I mean, he just, it's just who does he want? That's always been the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because like they initially sold like, oh, we're going to build a wall around Memphis and then with all Memphis kids, and you saw how quickly that changed with the Tigers. That is not the case now. So priorities, man.
Are there any guys that you see in town that are off the radar that you think have D1 talent, basketball-wise, like whether they're playing this year or not?
For sure. But I'm going to have to get back to you in like a week or two with that question because I've been doing football and I've been finishing up my all Metro teams and stuff like that. So I actually have not seen too much hoops. Like I was at that hoop fest at Bartlett, and I went to go see Christian Brothers, ECS, but those guys on those teams are committed that I've seen, and Amar Knox would have certainly qualified. But now that he has that Memphis offer on the table, I think he's got some more ones coming. I mean, that whole story is remarkable too. About like a couple weeks ago, Amar was at Central, which obviously is a Shelby County school, is not playing basketball. The kid transfers to Bartlett and plays in the Hoop Fest. And in his first home game, he dropped 37 on J.D. Davison, who's the number one high school point guard in the country, according to 247 Sports. Obviously, Kennedy Chandler fans would argue that it's Kennedy. I'm just saying what 247 saying. Dropped 37 on J.D. Davison in front of like P-Mac and Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. And then he gets the offer from Penny the next day. I mean, just remarkable. It's crazy.
It's that's a heck of a story. Speaking of which, you mentioned the wrapping up things on the football side. What were your takeaways locally from signing day and some of the guys that you've pointed out and you've seen this year?
Memphis actually, I think, did better than they usually do with my Davy Dozen guys. They got two of them. They got Greg Rubin, who's going to White Station, and Greg, obviously had a lot of Power 5 offers, but chose to stay home. That's a good get for him. He's a corner, 5'11", 180. I mean, the fans didn't get to see him this year because, White Station. They didn't get to see any of the local Tiger recruits, actually, because Brandon Warner also committed to the Tigers. He's a Ridgeway kid, another D-back. He's a little bit bigger than Greg. He's probably going to be a safety. And then White Station had a receiver also commit to Memphis. It wasn't, last year UT really cleaned up with my Dandy Dozen kids. This year it was more spread out. Like Clemson got Dietrich Pennington, and Oregon got Isaiah Brevard. There are a couple kids who went to LSU and Mississippi State and those types of schools. So. But I think the Tigers did pretty decent locally.
Do you get the sense that your Dandy Dozen is going on kids' resumes? You feel like that listed as Kari Thompson's Dandy Dozen is that becoming a selling point for a lot of these kids out there?
Well, it's the commercial field Dandy Dozen, and because I'm a complete and total nerd, yes, I've put these kids college pages once they've gotten to their respective universities. Yes, some of them do list it.
Yes. Why? Come on, man. Listen, I know you. We all appreciate our employers. All that stuff's very important. But this has got to be the Kari Thompson Dandy Dozen, not the commercial appeal Dandy Dozen.
I did start.
We need to specifically. You need to specifically get that going. That's what you need.
This is true. I did start that series before I got here. The Dandy Dozen was called something else. I think it was like a top teams ranking or something like that. But this feature style series that we do highlighting each senior That's all me. Started with me.
Exactly. So I think you need to put that out there right there. Let's go. Let's take it to the next level. Let's get you a little more pub on all of this.
Let's go, man.
You know what I mean?
Let's go. I got all the pub I need right here. Sports 56, we out here. Real sports talk.
That's right. KTDD. Kari Thompson, Dandy Dozen. Let's go. He's a KTDD number one. That's where the action is. Hashtag KTDD1. That's what we need, and all the way through 12.
Hashtag I'm just saying we need to bring it back.
I forgot about the Kari Thompson. I'm just saying. His did we ever have we hit you saying with a Kari Thompson I'm just saying rant?
Nah, say nothing about that. Nah,
I ain't never.
You don't know anything about the I'm just saying. It's very similar to when each of us goes on our rants. The Kari Thompson I'm just saying. You got any I'm just saying?
Yeah, I mean, like you gotta hit him with like 2 points real quick, and then you just gotta say like I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like I remember when it started. The birth of it was when they hired Ryan Silverfield, right? And they were like, yo, is the team going to be the same? You were like, is the team going to be the same with Silverfield coaching versus Novell? I was like, was he calling the offensive play? Was he calling the defensive play? I was just saying, like.
Speaking of Silverfield, Kari, what do you think about his impact locally with recruits, either through this signing day or just guys he's got his hands on for the next few years? What do you think his impact is like?
I mean, I think Memphis did good locally. Like they got a couple local kids. I mean, like, I think Tiger football is also a strong brand, and there were also some kids that were thinking about Memphis that Memphis kind of filled up on them. A couple of my Dandy Dozen guys. So I think they did well. I mean, the recruiting class overall. It's top 50 in the country, and it's number 2 in the AAC, I believe, last time I checked. So you can't really complain when you're bringing in that kind of recruiting class, especially considering where the program was, less than a decade ago. But, I mean, whether that's a Silverfield-specific thing, I don't know, because obviously Mike Norvell did his thing building Memphis into what it is. But you can't complain with what they're doing recruiting-wise at all. I think they did well.
Well, it's good to see, and you've been working hard, and I think that's what it's all about for you, Kari. We'll keep doing that. We won't talk to you next week, at least not on Friday, because obviously it'll be Christmas Day. We won't be on the show, but hopefully we'll catch up next week sometime to be able to put a bow on all of this stuff for the year. Have a good one, my friend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you guys.
That's Kari Thompson @_Kari Thompson. This hour brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Online, AcuraMemphis.com. You can find them at right there at the 385 and Ridgeway, just off the Ridgeway exit on Bill Morris Parkway. You can't miss it. Go and check out the fabulous inventory that they've got. Pre-owned, certified pre-owned. Boom. Boom, boom. Blowing up big time over at Acura of Memphis because, really it's – You're dealing with a great time for people to trade in. A lot of good value in the trade-ins, which means that you're getting a lot more late model and a lot of excellent inventory. So when you're looking for that pre-owned automobile, they've got you covered, and then some. With the award-winning service that you've come to know and love and expect from them, that fabulous service department that they've got too is 32 top-of-the-line bays with the latest and greatest in service to get you in and out very conveniently and very COVID-friendly, safe on all accounts. It's what it's all about. From Acura of Memphis. Find out more online, AcuraMemphis.com. Go see them at 385 and Ridgeway. Terrific folks at Acura of Memphis. Back after this, we get back into the game last night between the Grizzlies and the Hawks. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Get happy with Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 3 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Rocking around the key rides have a happy
holiday. That's right, Mid-South. Gossett Kia on the Pike is rocking away at the Kia Holiday Sales Event. Command the season. And gift wrapping is available on your 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $3149 due at signing. So get them what they really want this season, a new ride from Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike. Or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP 20,625. Sold M7755,682, MSRP 20,315, K5 MG 003,199, MSRP 25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Water damage to your home or business can be an absolute nightmare. And the faster you remove the standing water, the faster you can prevent secondary damage. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services specializes in water extraction. They have been a trusted name in the Mid-South for over 20 years. They are a Memphis-based company ready to serve your needs with their 24-hour emergency response. They are always on call and will respond within an hour. They work with most insurance companies and are the official restoration contractor of the Memphis Tigers home team. Landmark Construction and Emergency Services can't prevent disasters in your home and at your business, but their water damage team will certainly respond quickly to minimize and restore the damage. Call 901-452-0390. That's 901-452-0390 or online at landmarkco.org.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, I started the first micro distillery in the state of Texas with my dog, Dog Joe, at my side. We're still working with dogs out at the distillery after all these years. Learn more about how dogs are a part of life here at Tito's Handmade Vodka at vodkafordogpeople.com. Tito's Handmade Vodka is made from corn and naturally gluten-free. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
All 36-month leases, $3149 due at signing, 0 security deposit, $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte ME 29910, MSRP 20,625. Sold M7755,682, MSRP 20,315, K5 MG 003,199, MSRP 25,725. Includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title license with approved credit, warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Offer valid through 12/31/20, dealer stock only.
Are you ready to be happy this holiday season? Well, we Gossett you covered at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah. So come be happy with Kia's holiday sales event. Command the season. 2020 Kia Forte $142 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul $148 a month lease. Plus 2021 Kia K5 $192 a month lease. All just 36 months, $3149 due at signing. Stay happy all season long with Forte $142, Soul $148, Kia K5 $192. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
It's time for old Santa Claus to make his midnight creep call.
Santa Claus wants some loving.
Hey, now, want some love. Santa Claus wants some loving.
Got to get the loving. Back with you. Hour number 3, Funky Christmas. Pete and Sane with you. You gonna make it, Saney Boat, right?
Yeah, man. I'm almost there. Hard times for me last night.
Hard times.
But you're still there waiting on the email. Hey man, y'all flaked out on me yesterday too, man. Y'all had me feeling bad, man. I sent y'all guys a text, I ain't hear no response. Like, man, damn these guys, man.
I called. What are you talking about? I called
you called me, yeah. You called me, yeah. I ain't hear nothing from Zach till this morning when I called him. Even when I texted him, like, oh, it's all good, man. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah. Like, oh, I ain't heard nothing from Zach.
Nothing. Yeah, Zach doesn't care.
No, I do care.
I cared.
I care.
Yeah. You say that now. I don't know. I'm not sorry.
I just sometimes I might not text back because I'm fully aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
How can people know you care if you don't text back? It's just
yeah, man.
I don't know.
Or call.
I felt
I mean,
alone.
like I said, I called.
Peter
you know?
took the time to call me. Let me know I wasn't alone last night.
That's right.
And for those of y'all wondering
I
what
called
we're
and
talking
checked
about,
in, all that stuff, man. Come on, it's ridiculous.
if you want to talk about, I won't get into much detail, but I took my first COVID test yesterday. I was in a situation where I was like, well, let me just be safe and get that taken care of. And I was fine. But, I was sweating bullets until I got
Negative.
the results. Negative.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah. I was sweating bullets until I got those results. See, that's the responsible thing to do, man. You know, you inform
That's
everyone
right.
around you, hey, man, hey.
That's
I'm going,
true.
I'm going to check this out. Let me keep y'all in the loop. Didn't hear nothing from Zach. I think Zach was a little spooked, like, oh crap.
No, part of that was I was waking up from a nap, so that's
midday nap.
that would yeah.
Yeah, but you did wake up from the nap.
I did.
That's a beautiful thing about texts is that they will come back whenever. You can text anybody.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
It didn't expire because
No.
when you woke up
They
from the
did.
nap, you could be like, oh, okay, bro. Prayers up, my brother.
I can no longer do anything like this.
Yeah.
It's absolutely right. This is quite something. So I'm glad everything is okay.
Yeah, man, 100.
Last night, while you were worried about all of that, you could watch the Grizzlies put on a really impressive show, especially in the second half against the Atlanta Hawks, with kind of a dominant third quarter to really pull away and win it. 128-106 was the final score. Again, the score doesn't really matter in a preseason game in particular, but the performances overall. Ja Morant continues his virtuoso preseason. He looks spectacular. Looks like on this evidence, an all-star level player and in a potential all NBA season if he continues like this. 18 points, 13 assists, 3 turnovers, and a couple of them were just kind of goofy turnovers you wouldn't expect him to replicate. But that puts him at 31 assists and 4 turnovers for the preseason thus far, while shooting 61% from the field. Got the 5th best PER in the NBA in the preseason, averaging 13 points in the paint per game. That puts him top 5 in the NBA. Any way you slice it, Anthony's saying Big 12 looks spectacular.
And the game looks super easy to Ja out there. It looks like he's not particularly going at half speed, but it doesn't seem like he's thinking too much. It's like everything is just super instinctive, and he's playing at a great pace. Nothing looks really sporadic. And he's just making the guys around him better, man. Like, we talked about this the other day, like, how bad can a team be with an elite-level point guard? Like, name teams that have had elite-level point guards playing at elite level, and their teams were just trash. You know what I mean? Like, look how, even a team like Sacramento, they weren't a great team last year, but they weren't bad either. I mean, De'Aaron Fox just made them that much better. So, I'm expecting this to be a very fun season for the Grizzlies. This is one of those seasons they can just kind of, pin their ears back and just go at it, because you don't really have any real expectations for this team. And this is a big off season coming up, and I think this is just going to be just a super fun year of development and just seeing guys get better. You're going to get Jaren back at some point. Justice will be ready to go soon. So, yeah.
Jaren
and Ja. We got good DB, man. DB might have got with
Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks played very well.
Like he might have got
very,
some hypnosis sessions or something, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on with DB, man. It looks like a changed man out there, bro. And like, even like, here's the thing. Like, there's a couple jokes going out about the tweet, the quote where Dylan said something about even JB shooting threes with confidence. Then they interviewed JB and they said, well, even Dylan's passing the ball this year. He's those kind of things. Like, we laugh about that type of stuff, but that shows team chemistry, though. That shows that these guys are able to, crack jokes on each other, and that's something that's valuable. We take a look at the Houston Rockets. You know what I mean? We take a look at the Los Angeles Clippers. You can have all the talent in the world, but if your team lacks chemistry, it can destroy your team from the inside. And this Grizzlies team seems to be locking step with each other. It seems like a bunch of guys that genuinely like each other.
It does seem that way. On top of that, they took 53s last night, made 19 of them. That'll work. And, you mentioned Jonas Valanciunas. He's playing phenomenal basketball. He looks you pointed out he looks bigger, but slimmer. Like, he looks like he's more muscular, but not.
Looks in great shape, man.
He looks like he's in great. Yeah, he looks like he's in really good shape. And he just physically dominated Clint Capella in this game, who is not a small guy. Dominated him, physically dominated Bruno Fernando, who's another guy that's not a small guy either. At one point blocking Capella without even jumping. He just blocked his shot from both feet on the ground. And you don't think of Valanciunas as a, shot blocker extraordinaire or anything like that, but he grabbed 2 or 3 rebounds with just one hand. Like, he's the way that they've incorporated him into this more quote-unquote modern offense when he's kind of a traditional big man has been really interesting to watch. I give him a lot of credit because he's been willing to take those threes. He had a couple, took 2 and made 2 last night. He's been willing to do that, but he also has the willingness to do all the dirty work on the boards, get in there, make a difference on the glass, and then finish when he gets his opportunities. He scored 20 points on 9 shots last night. That's about as efficient as it can possibly get. He's really played extremely well for this team.
Yeah, JV's really looked better. Like we talked about, Kyle Anderson, he's knocking down 3-pointers now. Looks a lot better handling the ball in a power forward situation than he did at 3 last year. And just sometimes, man, like simple shifts like that, moving guys up in the lineup, just changes the total dynamic of the team. Like moving Kyle and Dillon from being your small forward and your shooting guard, moving those guys up to being your power forward and your small forward. It just makes your lineup look totally different now. Having another shooter on the court, whether it be Grayson or Bane or whatever you're doing. And I just think that I like what the Grizzlies are doing. And you know that Jaren eventually is going to be in that power forward spot, playing that role that Kyle does. But Kyle is just showing himself to be valuable, showing himself to be an asset on the team. And a couple of weeks ago, I was saying I didn't see how Kyle got minutes at all on this team. But until Jaren's comes back, I'm fine with him being your starting power forward and having BC come out the bench and keeping that chemistry and camaraderie with that bench unit.
And then on top of that, you also looking at, because I think when we also talked about before the season began, is like are they going to move Kyle? Like, are they going to move Gorgie?
Can they move Kyle?
Can they if this a possibility?
Is there any value to Kyle?
Right. But now it's almost like
Kyle looks like he's got value.
his value has been going up ever since the preseason starts, and now you kind of sitting there thinking to yourself like, do we keep Kyle? Like, do we hold on to him because of how well his shooting stroke is and how well he's being able to mesh with this up-tempo system with Taylor Jenkins? And so that's right now is like the question in my head is like, it's like, are we gonna be able to keep him? I'm like, or is there like a better offer where we can use Kyle for trade bait or something like that? So
yeah,
that's the only way to think about it. I think right now, like you can't help yourself but to keep him, but to hold on to him.
Now, I'm gonna say something else too. I was on a podcast with Parker Fleming the other day, and he told me to make a bold prediction, and I said, bold prediction is that by the trade deadline, Kyle Anderson. I said that Tyus Jones might be more expendable than Kyle is, and when I said this, because when you look at elite level point guards, whoever they are in the league, you don't particularly need this great backup point guard to be behind your star level point guard, if that makes any sense. And Tyus kind of came here as, training wheels for Ja being a rookie point guard, because you would expect him to be throwing the ball all over the place, turnovers, struggling, having all these, then you thought he might have been on load management, due to the injury that Ja had the summer before. I think that if a guy like Justice Winslow is healthy and he's able to handle the ball more and be a playmaker more on his team, it might make Tyus a guy that's more expendable. Do I believe that's going to happen? I don't know. But it might make you where you may not need a Tyus Jones level point guard to be your backup point guard or your backup facilitator coming off the bench. So, yeah, there are certainly a lot of different things that can happen this season, and I think it's going to be great. I'm just ready for it to happen. I don't have any predictions as far as if they're a playoff team or not. If they are, they'll be amazing. But just doing things the way they're doing it, I'm very pleased with.
Well, I think the other thing that they are always as a front office, I think they're very opportunistic. They'll take advantage of a team or a situation that comes up. Maybe one that would be unpredictable or one that you wouldn't expect, something like that. That they'll do that. But I think also, they're not gonna. They've shown a lot of patience. They're not gonna rush into anything. Mm-hmm. And the good news for the Grizzlies, they don't have to. I would suspect this year, I can see what you're saying about Tyus Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of value in his ability to orchestrate and run a team specifically.
Right.
There's a lot of guys that are kind of jack of all trades, master of none, but he's a very good, at his best, he's an extremely high-level backup point guard, which is a valuable thing. It means you're going to get 48 minutes. If you're the Grizzlies, you're going to get 48 minutes of
value.
High-level point guard play, which is not all teams can say that. That's pretty valuable. Now, the good news for the Grizzlies, because they don't have to worry about pushing like a team like Atlanta has to really make the playoffs, there's a lot of pressure on them. The Grizzlies, really, that pressure does not exist. So you can use more or less the entire season to kind of audition the likes of, DeAnthony Melton or even Desmond Bane or, whoever it may be, to look at that backup point guard situation and see if they could play it at a level that allows Tyus Jones to be expendable. That's possible. I mean, it's possible that they do. But you have all season to kind of look at that rather than worry about having to do it before the trade deadline or having to do it before
you don't need to do anything now.
They can use basically this entire year as
to see what
experimental kind of see what you got, and then
because
in the offseason,
if John's an elite level point guard and he's able to give you 35, 40 minutes a game or whatever you're doing with Ja, of course it's great to have Tyus there. But are there situations where you rather have Tyus on the court than Ja? I'd rather have more Ja than Tyus be available. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So I mean,
he's kind of overqualified for that role to some extent. I think. I mean, if you could get value for, the other thing I'll say is that if you could get value for them, then basically anyone is gone apart from Ja and Jaren pretty much. I mean, everyone is expendable with this team. They're not going to. They're not going to just be stuck with whoever. I think they see the core as Ja, Jaren, Dillon. Jaren, Brandon Clark, and Justice. But
how dare you not name?
I think the only guys that are actually truly not tradable are Ja and Jaren. So if something comes along, I guess they wouldn't rule anything out. But they're in a good position where they don't have to do anything. They don't have to. There's nothing that they absolutely have to do. And they've. The thing I really like about their style of team building is that they've kind of taken the approach of avoiding putting bad players on the court.
Yeah.
And you say like you kind of laugh, like you giggle when I like when I say that, but like it's true. Like how many teams in the NBA can play 11 or 12 guys and all of them are at least competent NBA level guys? There's not very many. But you look at even some of the elite teams, they get past 7 or 8 deep, and you start to really hit some significant depth issues.
Mm-hmm.
The Grizzlies have a baseline of competence across the board where you could put pretty much any 5 groups together, and they're gonna be okay. Like there is something to be said for raising the floor of your team. Maybe you don't have the highest. I mean, I think they have a pretty high ceiling, but maybe you don't have the highest ceiling with some of these guys. But you definitely have. Like Cal Anderson he's playing great, but he's never going to be a superstar.
Right.
But he's also
but that's
always
not really what
be,
you're saying though. Like you're saying that they can put a lineup where everyone is a good player, and by that the main thing is basketball IQ. Because if you're a smart player and you're going to make the right play 9 times out of 10, and you're not going to make bonehead plays or take horrible shots. There aren't any guys. If we joke about Dillon and we say that Dillon this, Dillon that. As far as being he may have the lowest basketball IQ on the team when it comes down to shot selection, but when you look across the league, there are some guys that have horrible basketball IQ that are in the NBA, and I think the Grizzlies have very few, if any, that level guys that are suited up for them. So that's something.
No question.
It's definitely in their back pocket for the rest of the season.
No, I think that and that's been their design. It's just kind of like let's just get guys that can play, guys that can run stuff, guys that get out there and hey, when I do X, you do Y. When I do this, you do that, and just know how to do it. Like that. Like Desmond Bane is a classic example of that. We haven't even seen Xavier Tillman or Killian Tilly of those guys, but we saw Tillman a little bit in the first game, but not much. But Bane, he's played 3 games and he looks like a 3 or 4 year veteran. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He makes good. He's done several different things. He hasn't just been a specialist shooter. He's taken shots off the dribble, but he's also driven the ball, passed, He's driven, he's cut, he's done a lot of stuff. He's played good defense. Like, he's just a player. Like, most of the guys that they get, you can kind of say that about. Like, this guy's just a basketball player. Even the likes of Shaq Buchanan, who was Ja's teammate at Murray State, and they're kind of allowing and giving Ja a little fun alumni thing. But he's a player. He can play. He was pretty good last year for the Hustle. He's a good player. So they're all good players, and that sounds simple, but you'd be surprised how few teams actually do it.
Yeah, how many teams actually say I can trust any guy on the court to make the right decision. If the ball comes his way or it doesn't come his way. So, yeah.
How many teams have like you take your Jeff Green approach, where the guy's just got unbelievable physical tools, but you just can't trust him to make the right decision out there, to do anything the right. You just can't trust him. Like, I mean, how many of those guys do you see out there? How many Stromile Swifts have there been? Where it's just a physical freak, but a guy that just doesn't play with the right mindset. Like, that's
how many projects do you have out there, guys who
exactly, yeah,
got all the tools in the world, but you just wonder. Speaking of projects and tools, two things. I know we're up against the break. Why in the world did Houston trade Clint Capella in the first place? Like, in hindsight, like what was that all about? Like,
I mean, I think it's basically their idea that they didn't value the center position.
That is so ridiculous.
$20-some odd million, and they didn't want to do that.
Because he makes an impact for Atlanta. He makes Atlanta better. Like, you talk about the other guys that they got much more fanfare. And I know Capella, they picked him up last season, but he was out or whatever. But he makes that team considerably better. He makes them. He legitimizes that team like day one, as far as Capella goes. But did you see the tweet that came out from concerning Wolves today? On Twitter.
I saw.
Yeah, it says that the Rockets are hoping to
tell everybody, please.
Yeah, it says the Rockets are hoping to get a deal done for Harden sooner than later, and that Houston is looking for a 3-team trade scenario to make sure to get the player they want. Look at that, man. Look, didn't I say this morning I wouldn't be surprised if it's – come on. That's what I do, man.
What did you say?
Do you pay attention to the show, people? Do you listen to me when I'm talking, man?
You say a lot of stuff.
I know.
I don't know.
I know that, man. I know that. But no, I was saying in the whole Houston thing, I said that, with the way that things are going, that it's probably going to be a much bigger deal than just a 2-player deal. Because for teams to really get what they want out of it, it's probably going to be. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
you want Memphis to get Houston, in on it?
It's going to be I mean, if there's a way to improve the roster or get some value or something, sure. But
you want Memphis to get your boy from the Nets? You want Memphis to get in to get him?
Which one, Joe Harris?
No, the guard who hasn't played yet. No,
Kevin Durant.
No, the guard who has that weird style of play.
He plays LeVert.
He plays like better CDR. Karis LeVert, yeah.
Karis LeVert's great.
I like him.
I like Karis LeVert. Yeah,
he's got an odd cadence to his game, but.
He does. Caden, that's a good word. That's a good word for it. He is. He's a little.
He zigs when he zigs and it looks like he's about to zag, and he just finds a way.
He's like jazz. Like, he's playing like on the off beats. Like, he's kind of hitting on the off beats a little bit.
And you look up and he's laying the ball up. Like, okay, how did you even get over here?
Kind of funky. Yeah, I like it.
It's kind of like fast Kyle Anderson is his game. That's what it looks like. Looks like if you got Kyle and sped him up.
That's a pretty good compliment. That's not a bad game to play. I would be fine. Again, I think the Grizzlies are very opportunistic, so I'm sure they'll be nosing around and trying to figure out, like, all right, well, how can we get in on this and, like, improve the team? Sure, if they can, then I think they will. I'm trying to figure out how they do it. Maybe we'll see. I wouldn't rule it out. with this team.
Yeah.
We'll come back, get some predictions for this weekend in college football, also on the hardwood. We'll do that when we continue here. Live from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 98.5.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stacks. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Good news. Southland Casino is now back open. That's right. The most spacious casino floor in the Mid-South is ready to welcome you back to the action with live blackjack, roulette, craps, and all your favorite slots. The action kicks off every day at 9 a.m. and rolls all the way till 5 o'clock the next morning. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and make the short drive to Southland. We're ready for you. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Santa needs a new set of wheels, and he's going to Sunrise Chevy Buick GMC. Sunrise has hundreds of new and used cars and trucks. This time of the year, Santa's a little strapped for cash, but Sunrise has financing with no money down on approved credit. Sunrise has financing for everyone and specializes in secondary credit. That's good, because feeding all these elves, Santa's credit's not so hot. A $4 million used car inventory. Find new roads. SunriseMemphis.com. 3D5 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
Just announced employee pricing for everyone on select models.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Frontier Western Store in Olive Branch is here to make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. Ladies' boutique style clothing, Carhartt for the guys, and boots for everyone. For Frontier's boutique department, you'll find the latest trends at incredible prices. We also carry a huge inventory of basics like leggings, tops, tunics, dresses, CC beanies, scarves, gloves, new styles of fleece jackets, and much, much more. Guys will be after Frontier's large assortment of Carhartt and Ariat jeans and shirts. Now, how about a new coat, jacket, or insulated overalls? Frontier has that too. Don't forget the boots. Work boots and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, Ariat, and more. Frontier is the place to come for name brand boots at an everyday low price. There are thousands of boots available in all sizes for men, women, and children. Frontier gift cards are also available and make a perfect last-minute gift. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
When you visit Navy Liquor at 7866 Highway 51 in Millington, you'll be treated like family by friendly, knowledgeable staff. Select are your favorite bourbon, vodka, scotch, beer, tequila, gin, and rum, as well as wines from all over the world. An amazing selection of sakis, too. Coldest beer in town. Beer kegs are available. Any beer, any wine, any liquor. You got the Navy Liquor hookup. Come see us, holiday or any other occasion. Navy Liquor, corner of Highway 51 and Navy Road in Millington.
Before you drive the all-new Nissan Rogue, you gotta ask yourself, how rogue are you gonna go? We talking be one with nature in the desert rogue? Go snowshoeing in Alaska rogue? Or take the long way home just because kind of rogue? Just a question, but with 5 available drive modes, you're sure to find the answer.
Go rogue in the all-new, fiercely reimagined 2021 Nissan Rogue, now with the most standard safety features in its class. See Owner's Manual for important safety information. Auto Pacific segmentation. 2021 Nissan Rogue versus latest in market competitors. Base models compared.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
It feels like Christmas. I know this
Disco Christmas right there.
Got a little funk to it. Got a little funk sway.
Little feng shui.
Little trip to it. Need to have a trippy Christmas, man.
This has no trip drip to it at all.
Imagine 20 years from now we're talking about, yeah, man, got a trippy. Be a trippy Christmas here on AM 560.
Santa, bring that drip this year. Santa, bring that drip this year.
On a cruise ship.
All I want for Christmas is drip.
I bought a cruise ship. Now it's a cruise ship. I wonder was Tom Cruise crew tripping or trippy or both?
I think they were trip-in. It seemed as though. Maybe they were trippy, but I think they were just doing their jobs. They were just doing them too close together.
Too close together.
Yeah. It seemed like that was the situation there. We mentioned tonight you've got a major, as major as I guess this really should be the Power 4 plus 1. The Pac-12 is having their championship game tonight. Would we call that a Power 5? I don't know. It's somewhere in the middle. It's Power 4.5. But they are playing tonight. USC and Oregon. USC 3 or 3.5 point favorite. Saw on FanDuel Sportsbook that line moving. USC somehow undefeated. I know that they've been Larry Scott and the Pac-12 folks have been making a push for them to be included. I mean, literally no one is talking about them. People are talking about Coastal Carolina more than they're talking about USC, and rightly so. You have the Big Ten championship game tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. Ohio State and Northwestern. Ohio State getting their waiver to get into this game. Mm-hmm. You have the ACC championship game, Notre Dame and Clemson tomorrow, 3 o'clock there. SEC championship game, Alabama, Florida. That is a 7 o'clock tip-off or 7 o'clock kickoff, along with Tulsa, Cincinnati. The AAC championship game, that's on ABC. 7 o'clock as well. Grizzlies will also be tipping off tomorrow at 7 o'clock.
Doesn't feel right not seeing the Tigers in the AAC championship game.
No, but theoretically you could see the Tigers next week in the Montgomery Bowl on Wednesday, as a matter of fact.
I'll be the one hearing about it. Not talking about it.
You'll be hearing about it?
Yeah.
You might watch it, might not?
Yeah, more than likely I won't be watching.
Well, FAU and Willie Taggart is the opponent. We'll see if any action happens on the James Harden front later on today.
Prediction. But before we see each other again, would James Harden still be a Rocket? Yes or no?
I don't think it's going to happen this weekend.
You don't think it's going to happen this weekend?
I don't think it's going to happen this weekend.
Zach says he thinks it will.
Okay.
I think he's going to get moved.
Okay.
That would be a nice little pre-Christmas treat.
That'd be fun. Yeah, I can't wait to see how they arrange it. It's going to be a fascinating deal to see how.
I think it's going to be a big deal involving a lot of players going.
It would have to. I mean, based on the Drew Holiday deal, I mean, it would have to be much better than that, and that was a big deal anyway. We'll find out. Coming up next, it is a middays. Everybody, have a safe and a merry weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.